I'm sitting here going through comics that I just got.
Yeah.
This has been a really, really weak week,
Yes,
Angel.
it
I
has.
mean, Marvel and DC hasn't really come out with anything of any true fire or significance this week. It's been quite boring, particularly for the Black comic collecting community. This has
That's
been a very, very weak week.
yes.
I am dissatisfied with what I have to read from Marvel and DC this week. But
Yes. What we got?
we have an alternative. We
Good.
have the resurgence of the Black indie books, and
That's
one of
right.
the hottest ones to come on the scene. We're going to talk about tonight. Freestyle Comics. You are not putting on lip gloss. Is this man like a celebrity? Are you putting on lip? When
He
you
is
do the
a
Wednesday,
celebrity, but
yes,
he is
you're not
black.
putting on lip gloss for me and Rich and Derek.
Yes,
Wow.
Mike is a
Michael,
celebrity.
Michael Watson must be a special individual, ladies and gentlemen. And he is. He is the creator and artist and writer in Freestyle Comics, most notably HotShot. But enough listening to me and Angel. Let's bring on Mr. Michael Watson. There he
Yay!
is. What's up, brother? How you doing? You are muted, so we cannot hear you.
I am doing good. I'm trying to keep
Oh,
the background noise down. My kids are excited.
you got some young ones running around.
Yes,
Kids will kid. It's all
they
right.
will.
People will just have to learn to live with that. That's fine. We're here for the kids. So, look, sorry we couldn't talk to you last week, but we got you this week.
No
Appreciate you.
problem at all. No problem at all.
We are excited to talk about these books.
I'm excited to be here.
Let's start with who you are. Why don't you give the folks at home a glimpse into your genius? Who are you?
Well, my name is Mike Watson. I go by Most Epic in the comic and art realm and convention scene. I've been doing comics for well over 20 years. Graduate of the Columbus College of Art Design. Freestyle Comics is my personal label that I own, and we have over 40 comics that we have published in one comic book universe with 14 titles. And I love Chipotle burritos. I collect toys and comic books, and I play with my kids, and I walk the streets with my lightsaber attached to my hip.
My
That's
man. Did you watch Acolyte last night?
You know I did.
Man. Well, look, after we do our interview, we're gonna have our Wednesday wrap up. For those of you who are watching this, go, where's Rich? Where's Derek? Where's sometimes Herschel 30 minutes, 45 an hour later?
sometimes.
We're gonna do Wednesday wrap up after this show. And Michael, if you'd like to stay and hang out with us, we can talk about Acolyte a bit because none of these fools do anything with Star Wars, and they make me feel bad and nerdy because I'm the only one talking about Star Wars. So.
I have a lightsaber. What are you talking about?
Everybody got a lightsaber. Come on, man. My kid has a lightsaber.
Yeah, I got like
So
6 lightsabers.
Oh.
let's talk about Freestyle Comics. Let's talk about this universe.
All right. What
Let's
do you
go
want
to
to know?
that slide, Mr. Dr. Wizard. So here's your universe. It's a pretty it's a pretty diverse looking universe. What is the concept behind Freestyle Comics? What do you guys stand for?
We stand for everyone should have a chance to be epic, telling stories with original characters that are relatable and that people can see themselves in, not just visually, but in characters' personalities and their experiences.
Real life comics, not someone's interpretation of what this person should possibly be
We
from
try.
their perspective. I
We
get you.
try.
Let's go to this next. And so you have these two preeminent characters I've noticed, Hotshot and Vigilance. Are these? Would this be safe to say that these are your two preeminent characters in this universe?
They Hotshot would be the flagship character as he has 12 issues in, and he's the book that started it. Vigilance is one of our hottest selling titles and has moved her way up to being one of our most popular characters. We also
I
have.
know it's hot because I tried to go on the website and buy it. I couldn't buy the damn thing.
You can buy it. I just restocked it
When?
last week.
Recently? Well, I tried to buy it 2 weeks ago when we originally
Oh.
tried to schedule this.
Okay,
It was sold out. I'm trying to give you money, man. You're not taking my money, but that's all right. That's all right. It's free stock. So I'm glad to hear that because okay, cool. So who's your team? You said you are the writer and artist and co-creator of HotShot, correct?
Yes.
All right. So introduce us to the rest of your team over here at Freestyle Comics.
Right now we have Danny Cooper up there. He is our editor-in-chief of Freestyle Comics. He started off as our letterer. He still does the letterings. He's our lead letterer right now. Danny helps run FSK, helps me keep the stories of FSK afloat and intact and realizing where everything is going on. But he is, and I may have personal bias in this, but he is probably the best letterer in indie comics right now. I enjoy his work. He issue of HotShot, and I got cussed out. Danny should never not be lettering the book. Veronica Smith, she is an amazing colorist. I was so happy to be able to meet her virtually, and she's been coloring HotShot since I believe issue 7.
The colors really pop in this comic.
Hey, that's all Veronica. Veronica is amazing at that. She's moved her way up in FSK to be one of our editors. She's been working with us long enough to where she just takes ownership in things. She'll just message me and say, "Hey, Mike, this panel was messed up. They missed this, or they missed that. I just fixed it, and here's the edits I made," and just keeps it moving. When we got a new title that's actually pretty important to our story arc called Zero Event, she claimed it. She said, "No one else is coloring this. I don't trust anyone else to color this. I am coloring this book." And she won Colorist of the Year for that book.
Oh, wow.
That's what's up. And who's this?
Lori Foster. Lori Foster is a hell of an inker. She is fantastic. She is co-owner of Laguna Studios. She helps us run some of the business side of FSK. I go to her with a lot of business questions when we're trying to make moves and things like that. But she is a fantastic inker. I've been trying to work with her for a while, and then we finally were able to link up on a test page. For issue 9 of HotShot. She did one page just to see what it was like, and I was actually inking that book. Yeah, after she did that page, like you're inking from now on. You're inking from now on. That is your job. You got it.
Nice.
So HotShot.
Yes.
One of the things that you mentioned is that he is the flagship character for your universe. And I know in reading this, something that you mentioned in an event that sort of kicks off your universe, the Cataclysmic Zero event. Tell us what that is.
The Zero event is a giant war that happened a couple of years before HotShot actually came onto the scene. It is when all the extra humans, we call people with superpowers in our universe extra humans, all the extra humans on record, hero and villains, were all fighting in the Sahara Desert in one huge end-all be-all battle. And the number one hero at the time, Justice, and his nemesis were also doing battle in Cleveland, Ohio. And it was a showdown that was meant for the ages. And Justice and nemesis fall, and all the heroes in the Sahara Desert, heroes and villains, disappear, which theoretically put our extra human population to 0. All the heroes and villains that were on record disappeared. No one knows what happens to them. No one knows if they died, where they went. And after a year or so, extra humans started reappearing in our world, and that's when we get the Vigilances and the HotShot and who we have right now in the FSK universe.
One of the things that's mentioned in the story is some of these characters being inspired by I guess it was a hero called Justice.
Yes.
What's that all about?
Justice was the number one superhero in the world prior to Vigilance. and HotShot coming on scene. He was our Superman archetype, and he was fighting Nemesis, his number one rival, at the same time that all the heroes and villains were fighting in the Sahara Desert. He was just that, that very, I'm going to do what's right because it needs to be done. That steward, that guy that you look up to, and he fell. He sacrificed his life to protect the city of Cleveland from Nemesis.
Is that something that's shown in one of these books, like that story where that happened?
That story is actually happening right now in the Zero Event series. We have issue number 1 out, and now we're working on issue number 2. It's a limited series of 3 issues.
I think Angel had some very intriguing questions she wanted to ask you. Remember, she asked it off camera.
Well, he kind of answered it in the intro because a lot of times the independent comic companies would have just one main comic book. So I was asking, is it just the one comic book or are there more?
Yeah, so we actually have 14 titles right now with a couple one-shots in there, but over 40 different comic books, and they are all connected in one comic book universe.
14 titles in one universe?
Yes.
You don't like half step, do you? That's a lot.
Well, I don't want to fool anybody. I've been working on this since like 2004. So this has been a long up and down hill that we've gone through. And just within the last couple of years, we've had some consistent strides upwards and things like that. So a lot of mistakes and, a lot of even out and a lot of wins. So give and take.
All right. So let's talk about HotShot himself, because I know this is kind of your brainchild. Tell us who's the man behind the mask.
HotShot is me. It actually is a story that takes place based loosely off my time in college. I never got diagnosed, but I felt like I was depressed. I had never been this low in my life, and I was dealing with a breakup, a very serious breakup that I've come to realize was all my fault because I was distracted by any and everything else. And I was a resident advisor at the time, so I would go outside and do my job, all smiles and laughs, and then I would come into my dorm room and cry on my floor. So after a few times of doing that, I started getting lost back into my world of fantasy and comic books and things. And I wondered what would happen if Clark Kent never got with Lois Lane, never got back with her, or what if Mary Jane and Peter Parker never got back together. One of the things that were recurring themes that the hero always gets back the relationship. It always comes back together. But I wanted to know what would happen if that relationship was gone and it would never get back together. How would the hero and that person move forward? What would their experience be? And I started working on this story of HotShot being in college and trying to balance everything that comes with being in college and a hero and a relationship. And how does he move forward through this cycle, knowing that relationship is not going to be repaired. They're not going to get back together. And that's when I slowly started meeting other people that helped make the book better than what it was when I started.
And let's talk about his powers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, his name is HotShot. Is there anything significant related to his powers and his name, HotShot?
Well, he controls heat. He shoots heat blasts from his hands, and he can do that at varying different levels. He can take a punch, flight, and super strength, but he also has access. He has done things that he doesn't know how he's done them. And that is part of his journey because he doesn't know where his superpowers came from. He's trying to figure out how all of his powers works because he's done some things that would probably save a lot of lives if he can do it on demand. And this clip that you're seeing right now that you have up here is actually one of his self-training times where he's trying to do a move that he did that saved his life in issue 2 because he can't do it on command.
It looks like he's like Goku and he's about to, or maybe the Power Ranger thing.
Oh, absolutely. We definitely have some influence. We definitely have some homages throughout the entire book. I'm a big geek. When I watch or read or play video games, I am heavily inspired by those things. And the main factor that I take from that is like, how do I get that experience that I just had? How do I translate that into my own characters? But because these characters have influenced, inspired me, I also want to have little Easter eggs and homages in them for them as well.
Now, I'm looking at on the center picture on his shoulder. It has the number 99. What does that signify?
That signifies, coincidentally, when he graduated from high school, but that's also the year that the Zero event took place.
In 1999?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, in the issues I had to review, there was a story about this clip here about his interaction with water. He
Mm-hmm.
seems to have some limitations when it comes to water. What's that about?
He has a fear of water. He cannot swim. He does not know how to swim. When he
Did you just
was,
write a comic book black character who cannot swim? He can
hey,
fly, but he can't swim.
I cannot swim. So this is a real fear. When I was very little,
this is what happens when you're from Ohio.
when I was very little, somebody bumped into my mom when she was taking a walk with my father, and knocked me into the lake. And my father had to jump in there and pull me out. And that's just a story. My mom told me about that, and I've tried to learn how to swim, and it just does not work. And I've decided to add this as a weakness for our character that he is going to need to overcome. But it's also part of the deeper he falls into the water, the darker it gets, and he's fighting against the darkness. The darkness has power, obviously, in dark areas.
It's funny you should say that. Doth Universe has his comment. He says, "Seems your creative purpose pushed you through depression. Always good to have purpose."
I would say he is absolutely correct.
That's still. I mean, you're incorporating this. Really, this when you say you started by saying HotShot is you. It really is you, right? I mean, you've incorporated your life into this character. It
Mm-hmm.
must be somewhat cathartic for you.
Obviously, I didn't really realize what I was doing at the time. And I don't think it really hit me until these later issues that I really understood how therapeutic this was, because the issues that I gave you to review or check out, this also deals with showing his mom, because his mom gets abused by his stepfather, which is a real experience to happen. Like, this is a conversation I had to have with my mom and my sister about being able, it was okay for me to do this story, to touch on the perspective that I experienced through it. And it plays a big part in HotShot's story. And it really did hit close to home. It was very hard to do the pages, because I also, while doing this, at the time, found out that my stepfather lived in Columbus with me, and I did not realize that. And I had to. It was a situation that we were both in where we were there, and it was not good for me. But being able to do it, explore it through the story, was very helpful. And now looking back, I see how therapeutic the series has been for me in going through these experiences.
I appreciate you sharing that with us. It takes a strong individual to recognize the challenges they may have emotionally and be willing to overcome them and share them with people. So my hat's off to you on that, brother.
Thank you.
A lot of people in our community don't do that. It's kind of a taboo topic, talking about mental anxiety and depression and what have you. I'm glad to see you able to work through it and do something creative with that.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It was pretty crazy because as I was doing the first part of this story, which is called the Unforgiven Saga, I let a lot of my colleagues and friends read it. I wanted a lot of input. I wanted to see how people felt about the story. And after people read it, like, they talked to me about, like, yeah, I had the same experience, or they had similar experiences to the same thing that I went through. And I've known these people for years and never knew that they had these type of things going on in their history. And by them reading the story, it opened us up a bit for us to talk about that, and see that, like, yeah, this is, I think it's an awesome story, but it's also important to get it out there so hopefully that conversation can be helpful to other people that have gone through it.
Yeah. So there's also this scene where he really does seem to struggle a lot with his powers. I mean, it's not one of those situations where, you know, we often hear people complain, "Oh, this character's way OP, he's way too overpowered." He has great powers, but his powers are kind of wonky.
Yes,
Is that intentional?
absolutely. My brother Victor wrote the first 6 issues, and then we were. I was very pleased to have Carrie Kelly, the creator of Dyna Girl, come on and write the next 2 issues, and we got the feature with Dyna Girl, which was super fun. And Victor has been a constant source. We call him the architect of FSK, and so he read all the books 0 through 8, and then I read them all, and he was like, these stories, these 7 and 8 are good. They're really good, set pieces or whatnot, but it feels disconnected from the rest of what we've done. It's like it doesn't acknowledge any of the experiences that happened. So it made me talk to Carrie, because it wasn't Carrie's fault. I was the creative editor over that book, so that's something that I should have caught. I told Carrie that, like, let's hold off on your next issue, because I want to fix that. I want to be able to I'm going to write the next issue. I'm not going to ask you to do that because, again, it was my fault for not catching that. So I just want to tie things together, to show that we do have an overall arc, that we are remembering what happened, even though he's moving forward with different characters. And so in writing that, I was able to go back and kind of look at, like, what pieces I want to keep it. And I was like, oh shoot, he's way too comfortable with his powers. Like, I love 7 and 8, but he got real too comfortable with his powers and easily using them and stuff. So I needed to make sure I re-ingrained that he does have issues using his powers, because I'm not ready for him to be that comfortable with them yet. But acknowledging that there is growth when he uses them. A lot of people miss it, and when I bring it up to them, they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's right." Because the first time he fights Void, he just gets his butt kicked, and that's in issue 2. But then when he fights Void again in issue 5, he gets hit and he gets right back up. He's still not doing great with Void, but he's not getting manhandled like he was in the first experience. So we want to show that that character has growth. Naruto is a big inspiration to me, and I appreciate how much that writer punishes Naruto.
Yeah.
And when you finally get the win, when you finally get it, and you're like, oh my god, that feels so good. And I'm trying to put myself, I don't want to punish HotShot as much as he did Naruto, but I want some of that there. So when we do get the win, when we do get the big moments for him, it's worth it. If you feel like he had to climb something to get to this piece.
And it really sort of shows his journey, the hero's journey. That's what's up. So you mentioned the scene with his mother and his history with abuse. Can you talk about this scene here?
Yes. In the Unforgiven saga, HotShot, again, as we've discussed, he's not in full control of his powers. And when he thought he solved the issue, he was out of gas and a missile still went off, and he didn't have enough juice in his tank to stop that missile. So right now he's kind of having trauma. He's experiencing a panic attack, and he's realizing, and with these events kind of happening at the same time in his head, that this is the missile that he couldn't catch, and it killed a bunch of innocent people on his watch, and he couldn't stop it. So he feels like that little kid when he watched his mom get beat, and he couldn't stop it, because as a kid he was scared, and he was full of fear, and he walked away. And he tries to use the excuse that my mom told me to to leave. We were just, me and your stepdad are just playing, so just it's okay. And so he uses that excuse of, well, my mom told me to walk away. Yeah, she did, but you were also very scared, and you felt helpless, and you didn't want to be in the same situation your mother was. So, like, he's experiencing both these failures at the same time, and connecting these experiences to when he was little to when he's now.
This really is his go ahead, Angel.
So I have to say that I really appreciate the growth and journey because too many characters in other land seem to have it so easy. And in reality, in the truest sense, being mortal or immortal, there would be growth, there would be lessons. So, how can people get these comic books from you?
Oh, and I just double checked the website too, just to make sure. But they can order them all off of right now, off of fsknow.com. We have all the issues of HotShot in stock, and I'm actually putting in a restock order for issues 2 and 3. I only have a couple of those left, but they can order them right now off the website, or they can join our Patreon page, which we are doing a subscription service that gives you one book a month, a metal bookmark, and a sticker for $10 with free shipping, and you will get each chapter of the FSK universe mailed to you each month. And like I said, we have over 40 chapters right now.
I just ordered mine while you were talking.
Awesome.
Our producer is also making us note, and we'll talk about this later with a promo. But if you enter the code BCL24 when you go to FSK Now to order your comics, you will be given a 20% off discount, courtesy of the Black Comic Lords.
Yep.
We're the gift that keeps on giving, and we don't ask for anything in return except for you to hit the like button as you're watching this video. And if you're not subscribed to our channel, what's the holdup? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you'll know when we do these dope shows in the future.
Yes.
All right, that was my shameless self-plug.
I would like to say that if anybody orders, because I have the website up right now, if anybody orders off the website while we're doing the stream right now, I will throw in a free comic book to those that order while we're live.
Is that
Now,
me?
you see, that's not fair, because I'm interviewing you right now. I can't order and interview at the same time. So that doesn't help me.
Paul, I got you.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, let's go back to our slide. Where was I? Yes. Who is this dude? The ghost dude.
We call him IT. This character is actually based off of my brother-in-law who passed away a few years ago. He was a huge geek. He was just as bad as I was, and this IT character, we had designed him off of somebody else, and when he passed away, I wanted it to be him. So we did kind of like the MCU thing where we switched how we looked in one of the issues, and HotShot asked, "Why are you different?" He's like, "I don't know. Ask yourself. This is I'm here like you want me to be seen." But
that's pretty cool.
Now is he like in his head, or is this an avatar of him? What's going on?
He is part of HotShot's power. He is literally IT. There's something different about how the power was transferred to HotShot, which is why his powers are not working, or he doesn't have control of them. So he pops in every now and again to try to diagnose or figure out how we can get HotShot in full control of his powers, because he has a bigger job ahead of him. And if he does not learn how to do this, he's going to get canceled real quick.
All right. Let's go into more of the characters that are in this book. Now, he's got a best friend who's a beautiful woman.
What's that about?
Exactly.
So
this is just a plot point just ripe with potential. He's single, she's single, good looking dude, fine looking sister, but they're best friends.
Well, she was part of the problem in their relationship. This is, as you said, she's a very attractive woman, and she is his best friend. Well, his ex-girlfriend believed that he was cheating on her with her. She always covered for him, and he always seemed to find time for her. But in reality, it's because she knew he was a superhero. So she was always helping cover for him.
Oh, wow.
So,
Sure.
so it's one of those things where you have that, you have a girlfriend, but you also have a female best friend, and it's like they're together all the time. So are there trust issues? I know that's like a conversation that's come up a lot. So it's definitely something that we wanted to play with. And yeah, there is potential. I know a lot of people who have read the series are, shipping them. And we don't know if that's going to be a thing that we do in the series, just because and sometimes it is good just to have characters that are really good friends, and that's it. So, but we still have plenty of issues in the hole to write, so we'll see.
He'll eventually realize that she's the one and stop messing around. His best friend. She's gorgeous. I mean, just make it work. So then we got this dude, Alex Remington,
Mm-hmm.
aka Hippie Tony Stark.
Hippie Tony Stark.
Tell me about this dude.
Yeah, so we needed a big tech mogul in our universe, and I didn't want them to be a hero. He is what seems to be a very charitable and heroic man to the public, but he's got some schemes and some ideas and some plans that he's working on. He's weaving his way into the EHD, which is the extra human division, and he's trying to get his hands wherever he can as far as the extra human heroes are concerned. His tech is all over. He's been around for a while, but he's been a big support structure to the extra human community and the world at large.
What's this extra human division, this EHD? What is that?
EHD is a very small faction that kind of manages extra humans. In our world, they do need to register their superpowers, what they can do, but they get the choice on whether they actually want to go into the profession of being a hero. If they choose not to be a hero, then that means that they can't do any heroics. If they attempt to save somebody and say it goes wrong, then they can be sued severely. They will take a severe punishment for it because they did not sign up to be in hero work.
So
That's why
these
only
heroes
registered heroes can do it.
registered. Do they get a paycheck?
Yes,
Oh man, might as well register. Get paid. Endorsement.
but it's very dangerous work. As you can see, I mean, people see HotShot taking an L a lot, and it hurts.
All right. I'm digging this world, man. You're doing some serious world building.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I've had a lot of help. Like I said, my brother Victor has been a big architect. He's laid down the foundation of this world. I mean, he's the one that told me that I need to learn how to write. So we kind of took things down, tore them down, and started from scratch with a ton of this stuff. And Danny Cooper is, I mean, we're like light and dark when we merge our ideas and we just feed off of each other and we just keep them going. Like I literally can start a sentence and Danny will finish the rest of it. We'll get those things in productions when we're working on this stuff. But it's not just me. It's a lot of it's a lot of help.
Dr. Wizard says your universe is unionized.
Yes.
They got benefits and everything.
Hey man,
you may have to register as a superhero, but they might have a good medical plan. You never know.
The medical plan is absolutely good.
We need a medical plan.
401k, probably good retirement benefits. You only got to be a superhero for 5 years and you're vested and you can retire. I mean,
I like it.
So who's this dude? This dude looks like Mojo with like Night Thrasher paint job on his face. Who's this guy?
This is Void, and he is an emissary of darkness. He eats, sleeps, and drinks dark, evil entity. His job is to extinguish the light wherever the light is, and right now the light is in HotShot. I wanted a huge, menacing villain. I love the kind of David and Goliath type of stories.
Okay, let's pause. Your description of him, he is the light and the emissary of darkness, and he is right now, his focus is This sounds like the intro of a cartoon or a movie or something. You're like you're like a true creator. Like I just got enraptured just listening to you describe who this character is. Just wanted to mention that. Please continue.
I appreciate that. But Void, I'm a huge Wolverine is what got me into comic books. So I'm a huge Wolverine fan. I love the classic Wolverine and Sabretooth battle. I wanted a character that would pull that type of battle out of HotShot. But I didn't want him just to be a musclehead. Void is extremely dangerous. He can manipulate the minds of the weak to make them fall in kind of a zombie-like trance. He has telekinetic abilities. He can teleport short distances. Plus, he's incredibly strong and durable. And like I said, he is here to put out the light, but he also understands that there must be light for him to exist. So he's nobody's fool, but he is a problem. And our first 6 issues were devoted to him. And he will be making a comeback in the series.
I have to talk about this one. Go ahead, Angel. Go ahead.
So I am a huge villain fan. Like, I get obsessed with villains and their story. I have not read a lot of the comic books of HotShot, so I'm asking a question that may have been already answered. Mm-hmm. Is there an origin story for your powerful antagonist here?
There is. We have not released that story yet. We're actually, so I reached out to Robert Jeffrey. He has written the 24th issue of HotShot. So that's already like in our Google Drive, saved and ready for us together.
24th issue. Aren't you only up to 12 issues?
Yeah. But I gotta have
a whole 12 more issues already written?
Not a whole 12 issues plotted and the 24th issue written.
Wow. Okay.
I gotta have a carrot. I gotta have a light at the end of the tunnel. I gotta have a target of where we're going. And some of the ideas that I'm tossing around with Danny right now is that we do a 0 issue of Void to kind of show his origin. Because it's going to be it may tie in heavily with our first big crossover, which is part 1 is taking place in HotShot 24 of an 8-part crossover that we're doing with all of our characters. The idea is that crossovers are very casual in our world because we have these titles, so you'll see these characters mix and play. They will be in other books, and I don't want to make an announcement about that. I don't want to say starring Nimbus from Heroes International. It's just natural. That's what these characters are going to do. But when we actually do a crossover for our first cataclysmic event where it matters, that's when we want people to like, yes, we want you to get all 8 parts. It is going to be in each one of these issues. And it's important. Like this is very serious for our characters right now. So that's the idea we're kind of tossing around with doing a Void 0 issue to showcase him in his importance to this event.
Well, you just got to Mr. Lonzo Starr.
Yo, that's my guy right there, man.
Concrete in the house. What's up, Lonzo? Dr. Wizard had a very good question on this point that I wanted to bring up. Void, wow. Was Void inspired by the depression experience?
No, Void was inspired by a bully experience of me getting my ass kicked.
Oh, wow.
You got your entire life experience in these comics, man. You're like, your whole family's in here. Wow, that's cool. All right. You got some more heroes that you introduced us to. Who are these heroes?
Well, this is Nimbus. He is our speedster, part of Heroes International, and Titan, who is also part of Heroes International. Titan is literally a Titan of hope, a reborn Titan, which means she can do anything that she literally puts her minds to, but she has to have that belief and faith in herself. And with her being a more rounded, voluptuous girl, she has confidence issues. And because of those confidence issues, she can't access the full ferocity of her powers. And that's part of her story arc and her character development, is having the confidence to believe in herself so she can be a stronger and better hero.
Damn, man. You put some thought into this.
Some deep
Like
thought.
some thought. I mean, she's a Titan. The Titans were those that tackled gods,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Titans were those who tackled the gods. And her power is based on her confidence, but then she's got body issues. First of all, you've got a character that looks like a regular person. Like most superheroes are all super chiseled, bulked up, swolled up, looking like everybody that works out in the gym 24 hours a day, but for the big boned people like myself, it's nice to see a superhero that kind of looks like us too. And for her to have confidence issues and she overcomes that to still become this incredibly powerful character, you really put some thought in that, brother. I mean, I give you props on that.
Thank you.
Talk about doing original This is what you get with Black independent comics, y'all. Marvel and DC ain't doing stuff like this.
Nope.
Well, as a fan, I had to think about like what is it that drives me to love these characters that I do love, to be inspired. Like why did I cry when Cap stood up against Thanos and said I can do this all day without saying I can do this all day? Why am I moved by K-dramas that I watch with my daughters? Why am I I know I'm going to bawl on the last episode or the last chapter of My Hero Academia when it comes out this week. Like what are these things that are moving me, and like how can I instill them in my characters? And the key factor is that I've discovered, or that I think what it is that the characters have to be relatable. You have to have situations and things going on with these characters that you can relate to be able to put yourself in their shoes somehow. So that way you either want this character to succeed or you want the character to fail. Wolverine, like I said, he got me in the comic books, and Lonzo kind of already said it. It's part of my origin story for FSK, but Wolverine he's 4'0". He's got butter knives coming out his hands. I mean, I love him to death, but really he's got the worst powers out of all the X-Men. His power is to get beat up. Everyone else has these ilmatic, amazing powers. But when I read X-Men number 17, all the X-Men got their ass kicked except for Wolverine. Wolverine kept getting up. And who he was fighting was this huge, massive Omega Red who was shooting out the Death Spore virus, who had carbonadium tendrils whipping Wolverine through trees, and Wolverine kept getting back up. I wanted to be Logan so bad. I had a bully picking on me in school, and I would always run away from him. And I am not exaggerating when I'm saying this, is that after reading those X-Men books, it was a cold winter day in Cleveland, and we had to go up to the bus to catch our bus, and he was picking on me again. And I finally just said, F it, man. We about to just have it out here right now at the bus stop. And we fought. I got whipped, but I kept getting up. And he kept looking at me like, man, would you just stay down? Like, you're not going to win. And I just said, no, we are going to finish this today. We're going to have it out, and we're going to be done with it. And I kept getting my ass kicks. And finally, he just got tired of it. And we ended up, after that day, being really close friends for the rest of that school year.
Wow. What a courageous story. That made me even respect you a little bit more, man. That's kind of dope. I'm gonna tear it up a little bit right there.
Oh no.
Well, I appreciate it.
So who are these characters here? You got Ironsmith. Who's this?
Ironsmith is she is our tech. She is an Amish character, I would say. She's like Ford. She can build anything she needs to out of tech. She has lost her arm. She lost her arm actually in the Zero event, so we are going to flash back to that. But she can make anything that she needs. She is also one of our characters, part of the LGBTQ community, and she is the leader of Heroes International. She does not want to be the leader, but after the Zero event, she was the highest ranking hero with the most experience. So that leadership role kind of just got forced into her lap, and she has been growing into that role. And you can see what's going on with her in Heroes International, which is out. We have 3 issues of it. The other character in this background who is kind of super rude is Alana Fitzgerald. She is our news reporter, and she is the complete opposite of April O'Neil, y'all. She is a jerk. She has a mean on for extra humans. She cannot stand HotShot.
So she's kind of like
wants to take
a
him down.
female J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Gotcha.
cool.
That's dope. All right. So next, this dude, honestly, from his just visuals, creeps me the hell out.
Well, he's
Like a
spyware.
serial killer that you see in a slasher film.
I mean,
Who is this dude?
Hey, I never thought of it like that, but yeah, I see it.
No, he's visually disturbing.
His name is Spyware. His superpower is he can communicate with technology. So he is heavy, like he's able to fight and things like that, but he really just is like their tech guy, their person in the chair. He's really mobile in the fields because he can connect with any tech and make it work for them as best as they need. But he's also like one of their investigators. Like right now in this scene, they're investigating. He's trying to investigate why these repair robots, who Remington Industries have launched these robots, and they would come in after a superhero fight, after a fight, and they would start repairing the buildings almost immediately to fix the structures. But these robots snapped and they started attacking people and attacking buildings, and which called HotShot in to deal with them. But something went wrong, like I said, and HotShot ran out of gas, and the robot fired a missile. These things shouldn't even have missiles on them. Why do they have missiles on them? Which is what Spyware is now investigating on this scene.
So his mask, is that like a motherboard? Like
yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's like it's think of it like a portable Cerebro, but that helps them access tech.
So is that something he created himself, or is that just came with his power? I'm just being nosy now.
No, you're fine. That's something that Ironsmith helped him make. Like he came up with the specs and ideas for it, and then Ironsmith was able to make it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Like Ironsmith makes the tech; she's the hardware,
mm-hmm.
and he's the software.
Yes.
So their powers kind of complement each other.
Absolutely.
That's kind of interesting.
I like that. I'm a big techie, so that's why I was asking about the mask.
No, that was really astute. I hadn't even picked up on that. I just saw a creepy looking dude and was like disturbed. And you picked up on the fact that it's actually tied into what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just smart.
Sometimes.
All right, so then we lead to this next character, Vigilance, who's one of the other stars of the Freestyle Komics universe. Tell us about this sister right here. First of all, this intro picture, really dope.
Thank you.
Vigilance. I literally hear the superhero music, the cinematic hero music.
You do.
Jonathan Williams doing the music, maybe, Ian, I don't know. It was very, very good. Very cinematic. Go ahead.
Awesome. Vigilance is currently the #1 superhero in our world. She's the world's strongest extra human on record. She does the superhero thing full time, 24/7. She is the main representative of EHD. If Vigilance can't solve it, then no one can. She is currently our Superman character in the world. And
so she has a really good pension plan and medical plan with the superhero universe.
Actually, she does. And we do start to dive into that a little bit more in her series, because she lives on
obscure real references like that I actually find interesting.
Well, so she lives on a military base. She is an alien. She lives on a military base. She doesn't do anything. She just works out. She trains. She's a mentor to HotShot as well. She's showing HotShot how to be a better hero and trying to help him learn his powers. But she just goes around the world to the big events that will require her power type. So she doesn't go to the mall. She doesn't go get coffee. She doesn't do any of that extra stuff. So any money. She doesn't spend any money. So all of her paychecks are just kind of saved up. They're just there sitting in her account. But in issue 4 of HotShot, we do make, I mean, of Vigilance, we do make her separate herself from EHD. She doesn't want to live there anymore. She gets a condo. And she's able to get that because of the money that she has. But we do go into kind of like her life, because she's going to have to develop a life outside of the Cape in the story. Two of the reasons why I created Vigilance is because Storm is just now getting justice, right?
Right.
I created this a while ago, and I was like, Storm should have her own book. Why doesn't Storm have an ongoing series? And why doesn't Wonder Woman like her book should be doing some significant numbers? She should be up there. Like, I feel like they forced Wonder Woman up there with Batman and Superman when she should be up there with Batman and Superman. I'm just talking about the sales of her book.
Look at style so serious, come.
And
on the real though, that's 100% facts. I mean, she looks glamorous just flying. I mean, this is like, I wasn't joking. I'm like, you can hear the music when she's flying, man. Like, I mean, it's
I love it. I love it. But the other thing is, we haven't, I don't think, outside of Storm, there isn't a super powerful woman of color in our own series on the cover of a book, coming out on a regular basis. I mean, there is now. We are getting Storm #1, and it's going to be an ongoing series. They're finally giving Storm the respect that she deserves. But I also wanted my daughters to be able to see themselves in the comics that I make. And
exactly.
I noticed when I played video games, where you got to create your own character, I created a woman. And because I have tons of games where I'm a man stabbing people, shooting people, taking swords out of stones and things like that. But for example, I'm playing Dragon's Dogma 2, instantly created a woman, and I had an all-women team throughout that whole game. So I definitely wanted to have a woman of color who was not over-sexualized, being on the cover of these books that is just as powerful, if not more so, than the Superman type character, but showcase that you can make stories of a Superman archetype. It's about the character. So we took the first 3 issues and kind of established Vigilance as how powerful she is and what she is to the world of Freestyle Comics. And then in the 3rd issue, we shattered that foundation. And now we're going on this road. Stephanie Menard is writing it, and she's doing incredible work. We're going on this road to develop who Vigilance is going to be outside of that Cape. So, there's this coffee shop by her condo that she goes to, but she only goes to that coffee shop because that's what people are supposed to do, right? That's, you go to a coffee shop. She doesn't even drink the coffee. What you saying?
I said she's trying to fit
because she's an alien, right, and not familiar with Earth culture, sitting in the coffee shop is her opportunity to observe humanity in their social environments, and she gets to learn more about the human being and their lifestyles.
Yes. So you just hit it right on the head. So these are things that she's going to do, that she's going to experience. And we're actually starting to develop her supporting cast. Like, she's going to have a PR team that is with her, because at the end of the day, she's still going to be Vigilance, but we are going to take the Wonder Woman route where people know who she is. They know that she is Vigilance, but she's going to have a regular name. She's going to have a home. And it's like, no one's going to rob Vigilance. So she can perfectly protect herself. So she's going to have a stylist, a PR, a manager. She's going to have somebody that, works with social media and things like that. And these are going to be the people that are around her that are going to help her become the person who she is when she hangs up her cape.
Now, you mentioned your daughters. I'm a girl dad too. My daughter's 12, and I try to, whenever I can give her exposure to positive women characters in comics, I try to. Would this book be appropriate for a 12-year-old girl?
Yes, absolutely would be. Whenever people ask me about the age range of our books, I always tell them, if you're comfortable with your kiddos watching any of the movies in the MCU, then you would be comfortable with them reading any of our titles. When it comes to, because I have 3 daughters and I have a son, so when I recommend titles for young girls, it is always Vigilance and our other title, Emerald Quest, which is a fantasy book.
Emerald Quest, okay. I will make sure to add those to my purchases I'm going to make after this show, and I better get some signed copies. All right, so um, this is the Concrete Universe, man. I'm digging it. I'm all in. I'm all in. You said that you got up to 12 issues. What's in the future? Tell us what's coming up next.
Oh man. So HotShot 12 is which is dropping this month, is the big fight with his stepfather. His stepfather is possessed and he doesn't give a damn. He is finally going to right the wrongs that he never did as a child. And this is our most physically violent issue that we've done. I've had to put a trigger warning on this book because it gets pretty violent. So if anyone has been through this experience or know what this is like, this book is for you. it definitely was very therapeutic for me. But issue 13 is the epilogue to the Unforgiven saga. And I'm already more than halfway done with that, drawing it. Issue 14, we meet a new supervillain. We're actually going to have a new artist on that one. Because I want to get more issues of HotShot out. So I am working with the artist to rotate every other issue. We are going to have like the final resolution between HotShot and Carla's relationship. That is going to be a big point. But the thing that all of our books are leading up to, including 5 Star, which is a book that we just signed a couple of years ago with Tony Clapper as the creator, and we've integrated. That's one of the few books that we completely, from the outside, we've completely integrated into the Freestyle Komics universe, and it's been doing very well.
Is 5 Star back on the website? Because when I tried to get it 2 weeks ago, it was sold out. Number 1.
It will be, because I put new covers on them, so I'm reordering those covers tomorrow. So they will be here soon. I still have the old covers, so if you want 1 and 2, you can still order those. But I've come to learn in the Black Comic Lords, they want specific covers.
Yes.
Look, the Black Comic Lords community, we are comics aficionados. We are collectors.
Yes,
we like, and we want what we like.
Absolutely, and I got no problems with it. 5 Star 1 and 2 is on there, so you can get the older covers. But I am ordering the new covers tomorrow.
Angels are our elite cover collector.
Yes, I will pick comics just for their covers and not read them. I am notorious for that.
Oh yeah, I think we all got a little bit of that in us.
Yeah, I have a lot.
Yeah,
though.
the cover buy is a real thing. All right, so I had a quick question about this. And I forgot to ask you this before, and I apologize. What are your influences on your art?
Oh, Adam Kubert, absolutely. Andy, his brother as well. Steve Scroce, Joe Mad, John Romita Jr.,
Madura, yeah.
Mark Begley,
right?
And oh my goodness, I always forget his name. But he's a French artist, and he did Civil War II. He is so good.
Olivier Coupel?
Yep, there he goes.
That's my man.
And of course, Ryan Otley and Corey from Invincible.
I love Ryan's work. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are some of my influences.
It's funny. All the artists, with the exception of Olivier Coupel that you mentioned, all of those artists that you mentioned have some similarities in their style that kind of remind me of cartoons or anime or manga type style to it. Yeah, that's definitely reflected in your artwork. So respect on that. All right, so chat talk. We had a bunch of dope questions that people had for you. Let's get into that.
Oh wow. Mistake that I learned to overcome is that I now know the comic book is never going to be perfect. I fell into a hole of redrawing pages over and over and over and over and over because the later pages look better than the earlier pages, and I fell into this whirlpool of redrawing. But I had to stop that and just learn to put the book out. The book is never going to come out if I fall into that trap, and I'm never going to learn how to be a better comic book producer if I don't come out with a comic book, because I need to know what it feels like to start and finish a project.
Yes, that's facts.
All right. Next question we have is from Pericles Dragon Balls. Do you have any dream castings for these characters?
Yeah, we actually do a casting call every week with our characters. So I have a list of actors and actresses I would love to portray the characters. I'm terrible at names, but Justice, I know I want that to be Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Um, HotShot, I've tossed the idea of Steve Urkel being HotShot because I feel like he would be able to do a magnificent job
He's a
Yeah.
grown,
playing
he's a
both
grown
ends.
ass
See
man
that.
now. He's like almost
Yeah.
40.
Hey man, they you know you shave them up, put some
Shame.
cream on them, they be good.
Yeah.
But with our interns, we have added different actors to it, younger generation of actors. Like I said, I'm terrible with names, but Marky, our main character in Emerald Quest, she is a 15-year-old military savant, the youngest general in our army. And the young girl from Blackish, the younger sister from Blackish, we would love her
Right.
to be Marky. So yeah, we have a whole list of characters and actors for it.
That's what your promotional. You should do a promotional thing where you put the actor's face next to your characters,
Mhm.
and then tag all of those actors on it and the movie companies that you're trying to inveigle to give you an option like Netflix or Amazon or something. And say, hey, let's make this
Yes.
happen.
Pitch a movie idea. Absolutely.
That's how you pitch it on social media, man.
I have not tagged the studios, but we have done the picture next to the picture and tagged the actors.
Tag
And
studios, man. Get the buzz going. Let them fight it. Let them fight over each other over who gets to option you.
Yes.
that's a very good idea.
Well, this is the Black Comic Awards. We have a lot of good ideas. All right. So, Charlie Matthews, what are your plans after issue 12?
Our plans right now is we have our big event called Zero Event Emergence happening in issue 24 of HotShot. Is our 8-part crossover, and kind of all of our stories and everything is leading up to that event. From it's going to cross over into HotShot, 5-star, Heroes International, Spider Squirrel, Zero Event, and it's going to be pretty big because what we have planned right now is an overall 100 chapter story arc. And like I said, we're about 40 issues into that. And we have 3 big events. We have a medium, a large, and a small event. Our medium event, which is worldwide, it's going to be Zero Event Emergence. Then we have a smaller event that kind of restructures everything in our universe and our titles. That will be happening, and that's more localized to like a statewide event, but it's got some big ramifications for it. And then we have our universal event that will close out this story arc. That is, that will go into space and beyond, involving all of our characters. So we know how things end for this vessel of characters and where we're driving all those characters. We're just trying to make the stories in between that build them up to make you care about them in those big moments.
All right. Wayback Reviews says, how do you do your world building? I'm thinking to try World Anvil. Bro, seriously, I love how your life is in this comic. This is great.
Thank you so much. My world building happens with me, Danny, and Veronica, and like I might even pitch some stuff to Danny or Alonzo, Victor, and that's just like me on a video chat or literally vacuuming in the house. I came up with a character while I was vacuuming, so it's I'm always thinking, I'm always having these scenes in my head, and then I just start drawing them when I get home.
All right. We have our final question from Mr. DC Comics. Most Epic Art, thoughts on Dwayne McDuffie and his legacy with Milestone Comics and DC Animation?
I devour DC animation. I mean, McDuffie is incredible. What he did with Justice League Unlimited, Justice League Unlimited, things like that. So I follow that very closely. I wasn't always the biggest Milestone fan. That's just something that I'm just now getting into. But I think he has a lot of influence on me because I watched all that stuff as a kid, and that stuff that still stands the test of time. now today. So it is a reference, and I know subconsciously a lot of those ideas and those character beats and those big moments are in my head, and it's like, how can I replicate that but in my own way for Freestyle Comics?
For those of you who have joined us late, we're here with Michael Watson of Freestyle Komics. Dope comics. Dope comics. We hope that you check them out. What's your website that people can go buy these comics? Let's let them know again.
fsknow.com.
Again, if you enter the code BCL24, we got y'all a hookup.
Yes.
Don't say we did nothing for you. We got you a hookup. You get 20% off.
Absolutely.
So you have no excuses. FSK now. Stop going into our comments section and our social media space and saying, I'm tired of how the big two treats our characters like this.
Stop.
Dude's putting in work for you. He's putting in original characters that don't have those limitations.
Right.
Also, if you do over $50 on the website, you get free shipping.
That's what's up. Our man Herschel did a great promo recently, which I want to play.
He did. Shout out to Herschel.
Yes.
Herschel,
what's good, Comic fam? I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with Concrete Comics, and I'm also pretty sure you guys are familiar with Freestyle Comics. Well, what if I told you they were partnering together and give you guys an amazing promo code? So listen, here's the deal. You go to any one of these websites, you're going to save 20% off by using this promo code. Now, if you spend more than $50, you're going to get free shipping. You can't beat this. And when I talk to you about industry standard or better storylines and art, I mean, you're really not beating Freestyle Comics. You're definitely not beating Concrete Comics. Listen, this is not a sponsorship. I've literally read all of these books and they're fire. So stop crying and start buying. Concrete Comics, Freestyle Comics, joining forces. Make sure you use this promo code. You're going to get 20% off. You spend more than $50, you're going to get free shipping. We out.
Shout out to Herschel for real dope.
Hey,
promo.
He killed that video, man.
Dude loves putting himself in videos. I gotta tell you. Yeah, man, this has been a dope interview. I appreciate your time, Mike. If you want to,
thank you.
Hang out with us. We're gonna do our Wednesday wrap up show.
I would love to, but I actually have to go because I have a meeting with Danny, so we can put the last issue of HotShot 12 to bed with the final edits tonight.
All right. I think Angel mentioned that she wants to be in a comic book. So if you want to squeeze her into there, she will not sue you for any type of royalties.
Hey, I think I can work that out because we do kind of need like a podcasty media type of character for one of our segments in our story.
And if you want to make me a superhero in the background who miraculously gets killed or something, that's fine.
I appreciate your sacrifice. We can make that happen.
Just make sure it's a heroic sacrifice.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Don't make me go out like no punk.
Yeah, nothing needless.
All right. Oh wait, there's a question that the blackcomiclords.net have for you. Did you have a crossover collab?
Yes, we did a crossover with Dyna Girl in HotShot 7 and 8. Our next crossover is actually with Ace Blade, which will be in HotShot 15, and then continue in the latest issue of Ace Blade. Danger Quick is doing the writing duties on that, and Freestyle is working on a collab crossover with Concrete Comics.
Ooh.
I'm just waiting for my
possibility we'll see you in cartoons, movies, television shows.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
All right, just do that tag thing I talked to you about. You get
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to go to a commercial break. During the commercial break, go use the restroom, get a drink, get yourself propped up. But more importantly, hit the like button. Help this channel out. We're not asking for anything. Well, we'd like some super chats if you mind. We haven't got a single dollar. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video on your social medias. Help us. We're trying to make this place grow. We hit 3,000 subscribers a few weeks ago. I'd love to hit 4,000 before the end of the year. And that's all we ask. So support this brother, fsknow.com. Michael, thank you very much for your time, man.
Thanks, Mike.
We hope you come back. We have a tradition at Black Comic Lords that when you do an interview with us, you join the family and you get initiated into the Black Comic Lords. So what we would like you to do is to look into the camera. There you go. Look into the camera. Smile. There you go. And then I want you to say, let me take myself off of here. I want you to say, can you hear us? Can you hear us still? I don't know what to happen. All right. I want you to say your name and I'm a Black Comic Lord, but say it with feeling.
Okay. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Watson, aka Most Epic, and I'm a Black Comic Book Lord.
That is probably one of the best ones I've heard
yet. Now you
appreciate that. Welcome.
No
you have now been initiated into the sect.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the interview. I really appreciate all the thoughtful questions and inquiries about the characters and the books, and all the work you guys have done to set this up today. And I want to also shout out the Black Comic Lords group. All you guys' support the last few weeks and interest in our books and characters have been massive. We thoroughly appreciate it. And also keep getting those Concrete comics too, because like I said, a crossover is going to happen between our two studios.
All right. And I'm placing my order tonight. So go ahead and sign those for me.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm getting extra issues because you said Vigilance is good for my daughter and the Emerald Quest. I'm buying extra copies of those for her.
And I will be packing them up tonight and shipping them out tomorrow morning.
All right. I love the packaging that you have too.
That packaging is epic.
Thank you.
Packaging's crazy.
I can't wait for the book.
I might need to get like an extra separate copy just to have it in the packaging and put that in a Mylar bag. Because that's dope. All right,
I'll fold one up and put it in there for you.
There you go. Thank you, man. My man. Give me a pound. Hey, pound it out there. Appreciate that. All right. Dr. Wizard, take us out and bring us into our Wednesday wrap-up show coming up next.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Danny J. Quick here with Ace Blade Comics. We got 6 issues of Ace Blade, 1 through 6. The 7th one is now live on Kickstarter. We could definitely use your support. We also have titles like Scarlet Ranger 1 and 2, created by Ro Lamb. We got Harlem's Renaissance and the Ballad of the Black Rose. And we got Lumberjacks 1, 2, and 3, which is about an Ethiopian prince who is displaced. And he has this necklace that gives him superpowers that he inherited from his grandfather. But he has to go through several trials to unlock the powers and abilities. So definitely check us out. You can find us at Fourth Wall Productions, fourthwallpros.com. And like I said, on Kickstarter right now. So I appreciate y'all, Black Comic Boys. Thank you for the support. And thanks for doing the right thing for the community.
Go to an art museum and you see pictures on the wall, what do you think? I can tell you that a picture cannot audibly speak anything. Yet you will be challenged to find something, however, that doesn't speak louder. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And that is how I justify buying black books at times solely for their covers. Sure, I would love for the story inside to be amazing. I would love for the writing to capture my attention and hold my thoughts for ransom. Yet I have experienced a world of story in an image. I am drawn in by drawings and pulled in by paintings, not having an inkling of the message communicated by the ink. For my mind has made up its own mind, and it has told me it does not care what the artist creates, for I, a created being, see me in the work. I see my babies, I see my ladies, I see my brothers, I see my fathers, I see my people, I see my equals, I see everything and anything and something completely different from you and you too. We see the same shapes and colors, but not the same images. Beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder, for I beheld a canvas that canvassed my heart and mind, giving me peace, giving me sadness, and giving me anger, giving me love and giving me hope. So when I see comic books with a face like me, I see a story where half the story has yet to be told, because truly it can't. After all, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
It's the one-day wrap-up show.
Shut up.
What's up? What's up?
Hi, Rich.
I know Rich does not have on a House Stark shirt right now.
Mhm.
Okay, man. I see you player.
Well, you know, I was hanging out with the House of Dragon last night, so
Wait, did the new show premiere already?
no.
Why you say it like that?
When is the premiere? Next week?
Just to give context. First of all, what's up, everybody? First, to give context, last night, Paul, myself, and a bunch of collectors get together, and we chopped it up about something very special. And I call the group is called The Culture, but I actually call it the House of Dragon, me personally, because it's full of dragons, book dragons, that is. And so we had a dope conversation, and I guess we can go ahead and get into it.
Yes.
We have something pretty dope and pretty special we want to share with you guys tonight. And I need you guys to participate in this because it's going to a very good cause. One of my brothers, shout out to Otis, he hit me up and said, man, we got something going on, want you to be a part. And so I was like, okay. And he sent me this text like 1:30. So I'm working, you know what I'm saying? I'm a truck driver, so I can't really pay stuff too much for mine. And I'm kind of glad I did, because my head would have been spinning the whole day if I'd have had to kind of like deal with this. So anyway, I get to the house, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I kind of chop it up a little bit with the wife, and and I had stuff going on prior to, but I was trying to rest for a minute. And so I'm sitting down watching Sons of Anarchy for about the 11 millionth time. And so I said, let me get my phone, and I listened to my message, and then I clicked on the link he sent me. And so in essence, we can't play the audio because we might get dinged for it. But in Nevada, there is a young man who father passed away and left him a comic book collection. If you can look at some of the comic books, you see there's a Tomb of Dracula.
Oh, wow.
There's a Fantastic Four 52, first appearance of Black Panther. Tomb of Dracula 10 was his first appearance of Blade. The Spider-Man book, which is Spider-Man book, which is the first appearance of Punisher. So there's a lot of keys on that. But unfortunately, somebody broke into his widow's home and stole the comic books.
And these are comics that had been there in his family for like 4 generations or something like that, he said?
Yes,
That's
yes.
crazy.
And so it was one of those things where, you know, it touched our hearts. And I want to shout out J. Napoleon Winston. I think his wife and his wife. She sent him the initial message about this link, this news report, I should say. And Jace reached out. He reached out to a couple of the collectors in the space. And so what we're going to do as a collective is we're going to help restart this young man whose father left him this collection. We're going to restart his comic book collecting all over again. And so he, like I said, he reached out to a number of collectors in our comic book space. And so I was one of those collectors. Paul was one of those collectors. Herschel was one of those collectors. Those that you're familiar with here in BCL. And there are a whole lot of others too. But that's why I call it the House of Dragon, because it's literally a bunch of book dragons that are going to be participating in this. And so what I want to do is at Black Comic Lords, we want to extend this invitation to be a blessing to this young man whose father, before he passed, had generational wealth in his hands and someone stole it. So we want to put some of these books back in his hands. And so we do have a post office box, and you can send these comics directly to him. We have his name is Makari Williams, and they're out in Las Vegas. And so, guys, I want you to take down that name, Makari Williams, care of Amy Williams as his mother, 5546 Camino El Norte, number 2, box 180 in North Las Vegas, North Nevada, 89031. We want you guys to go into your collection. And as I begin to think about this today, and we were talking yesterday about some of the books we want to give, I'm going to put myself out there on a limb because I believe I can do that. Not that I'm the special or anything like that, but I can say something. I can challenge people because I think I have enough street cred, if I can say it like that. I'm going to ask every collector to not give a book that's just in your collection. You can do that, but I want you to make a sacrifice. It ain't a sacrifice if it don't hurt. What I'm getting at is I want you to give something that you know you really don't want to part with, but because you're doing this for someone, you know, and being a part of something bigger than yourself, I want you to dig deep. And you ain't got to give a bunch of keys and that kind of thing, but I really want you to challenge yourself. It's not the number of books, maybe just the quality. A lot of us got big boy books, and I'm not saying give a big boy book, but I'm definitely saying give a key or two. But let it be a sacrifice. Let it be something that you know you love the book. And here's a kid who is like, I think he's 4, is going to grow up and have this book in your collection. Do something for someone that can't do nothing for you.
Here's the thing with this. Many of us collect these comics oftentimes with the intention of passing it down to our children. We collect them not just for our enjoyment of reading them, but also because of the inherent value of the comics that we appreciate over time. It's something you invest in, and as I said, you want to pass it down to your children, hopefully have them pass it down. And that's what this kid's father did, and his father before him, and his family before him. This as I said before, this collection has been in their family for a few generations. passing down that wealth, that generational wealth within the family. That's something that we as a people don't often have that opportunity to do, and this family did that. And to have that stolen away from this child really hits home for a lot of us, because that's sort of an intent that we have with our own collection. So we have over 58,000 people following us on our Facebook page. Another 19,000 on our other Facebook page and other pages. We've got quite a few people that follow Black Comic Lords. If even a fraction of those each gave up one book, this kid lost over 400 books. If a fraction of those thousands that follow us each give one book, this kid will have his collection back in no time. There's things that are bigger than just comics, and there are things that are bigger than just us. And this is one of those things. If this the story, this endeavor means anything to you, I encourage you to take down this information and do a screenshot and send at least one book.
Yep.
Send at least one book. Enough of us send one book. You can send multiple books, even better.
Yeah.
Send one book at least. Make one key, book a key, and send some other books that the kid can read. He's 4, so there's some stuff you might want to read just for fun. Throw in some books that you think of that are fun that a kid will like to grow up with and read. And let's make this something special for it. We've kind of hashtag all of this. Hashtag Black Comic Collectors Care. When you send the book, make sure you send that message along with it. Hashtag Black Comic Collectors Care. And if you want to take a picture with the book that's going out that you're going to send out, send that hashtag over your social media. And let's try to make this thing go viral and try to encourage other people to do the same thing.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Please do so. And again, you know, I believe in passing down what we love to people. And we always kind of, you know, wrestle with that. Who's going to get my collection? Who's going to donate? Or, you know what I'm saying? What can we do with our collections once we're gone and that kind of thing? You don't have to be gone to do something special. This is, you know, an opportunity to be a blessing. So please be a blessing. Share this, you know, the hashtag. Please put the hashtag in the chat, y'all. Hashtag Black Comic Collectors Care. We really want this to go. And like I said, we're going to have this up. I think the post office box will be active for at least, I think, the 3 months. So we're gonna hit you guys with this hashtag and with this info, because we really want you to give. We really want to overwhelm this young man and his mother with some love and care. And like Paul said, you know, throw in some Funko Pops, throw in some kid books that the kid can read or whatever. But just to give you some backstory, the father was someone who was dyslexic, and he was given comics to learn how to read. And so his love for comics made him a collector. And so now, even when we understand, the guy had a YouTube channel as well. So, but he passed away suddenly or whatever. And, you know, this collection was was for his son, and someone stole it. And, you know, that's unfortunate. We don't have to get into the logistics of why and how and all that. You know, what is important is that we go into our long boxes, our short boxes, and grab something, you know, for this kid, Makari. You know, because, you know, that could be our son. You know, dealing with that. You know, we would want, if something was to happen to us, I would like to think, when it comes to our children, that if something like this heartbreaking would happen, that we would be able to do something along this line to make life a little better. So please give. Please. And I'm gonna tell you, y'all gonna get tired of me talking about this because we got Real Talk with Rich coming up on Sunday. We got Wakanda Whiskey and Blurtum. We gonna harass y'all on IG because we need to see you guys with these packages or with these books, with the hashtag and let the world know. And if you got some connections with some comic shops, ask them to donate to this dope cause. So yeah, because Black Comic Lord, we love the children.
Yeah.
Black Comic Lords is for the children.
You know what I mean? I can't speak for Wu-Tang, but Black Comic Lord love the children. We for the children. So anyway, guys, I know it's kind of heavy to start the Wednesday wrap up show, but I wanted to get that out the way so we can go on and get into the shenanigans of this week. It has been an interesting week, y'all.
The biggest thing that immediately pops up, if you look at my name thing here, I've been promulgating this hashtag, where is the MD Bright tribute?
Yeah.
DC decided to finally send up a little bit of a tribute to this incredible artist, this GOAT, a man who helped build the Big Two. He literally helped build the Big Two, with phenomenal runs with pivotal characters and seminal runs of these funny colored pages that we love so much. This is a man who means a lot to me personally. I have a lot of his books in my collection. It's his run that got me into collecting, for all intents and purposes, on a serious basis, superhero comics. When he started drawing Iron Man, I started collecting that series because of him. And as a result, I started following him as an artist. And his run on Icon, which was one of my favorite milestone runs, was also an important part of my collection. The fact that he died on March 26, 2024, and it's June, I guess it was yesterday, June 4th of 2024, 3 months later, they finally decided to give him some acknowledgement with a one-page picture. They did have some good quotes from some of his contemporaries, Dennis Cowan and what have you, which is excellent. I wish his actual picture was in the, acknowledgement. I drafted this picture we see on this picture. It took me, half an hour to do that. I would expect that DC could have at least done something like that, but that's fine. Lack of creativity. Anyway, so shout out to them for finally doing the right thing, and I appreciate that. Marvel, looking at you with the side eye. This man did some great books for you guys too.
Yeah.
You're looking.
I want to be petty.
Oh please, this deserves pettiness. I'm pissed at this.
I want to be Richard Petty. I want to be the race car driver tonight on this here. I will say this. I went to the comic shop and I went to the wall because I needed to see it. And I didn't grab my pull. I told my shop, I'm gonna come back and get my pull later. I went to the shop for the specific reason to go to the comic book wall and grab a DC comic and look in it and find the tribute. I go to the first couple of pages. I'm thinking maybe I go a little bit longer. I'm in the Batman book, the new Batman book. I don't see it. I'm getting heated. Very last page. I'm talking about the last page, not the page and then the book ends. Literally the last page. If you flip it over, it's the back of the comic book.
Wow.
So I'm gonna be petty, DC. I appreciate what y'all did. I'm not gonna say thank you because I'm gonna stand on what I said on Sunday night. It was sad it took y'all this long. And I'm glad that they included Dennis Cowan in the tribute. But I still think we need to get at Milestone about this, since he did draw Icon for so long.
Yep.
And from
But,
what I understand
okay.
in that tribute, they said that Milestone actually offered him to be one of the creators, like owners, you know what I mean? Founders.
Yep.
And he politely declined and said, I just want to be an artist. And so he ended up being a prolific artist on the Icon run. But technically speaking, he was supposed to be one of Milestone founders, just like Reginald Hudlin was supposed to be and Christopher Priest was supposed to be at the time. And he, if you look in various credits, he's actually credited as being kind of one of the co-creators of Icon in terms of, you know, the look and what have you. So this is a GOAT, man. This is doing these interviews as I've been doing. On a list, my mental list of people that I would have loved to have interviewed, he's always been on this list. And it saddens me that I'll never have that opportunity. But this is a major dude. He deserves his props.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, you know, it's kind of sad because we didn't get that opportunity to interview him. When you're talking about legendary, you know, we were able to interview Larry Stroman. A few other artists that have, you know, we still got some OGs we got to get to. But I think that was definitely a missed.
Yeah.
It almost stings like Billy Graham.
Yeah.
You know, and I think people don't realize how significant and how important it was for us to really insist that the big two do a tribute, because we've never done that before any other artist.
Right.
We never could, and the truth be told, we never had reason to. But at the same time, it's kind of like Mark D. Bright wasn't your third artist down the hall that filled in on books. He was a GOAT. He was a prolific artist. All those Iron Man books, Green Lantern books,
right?
The Icon books,
Quantum and Woody,
and look, I said on Wednesday night, on Sunday night, I want to get it Valiant, but they can't figure out if they want to be a comic book company or not. They struggling just to put out a regular comic book, so I can't even really get mad at them because they ain't put out nothing significant in a long time. But here's a guy who wanted.
I thought about that, you know, with Valiant, Milestones, but these companies still have social media accounts. It don't take nothing but to put out a tweet, you know. Hey, you know, shout out, lost a great artist, you know, condolences to him and his family, you know. It don't take nothing to do that. Not even that, man.
Right.
No, it don't.
I can't let that go, man.
I mean, it's what it is, bro. I mean, it's not like you know what's funny? What's funny is I found myself, and this just goes to show you how living in America messes with your head. Because when you are demanding your rights and you don't quote unquote get them, if you're not careful, you'll begin to think that you're not worthy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like with an artist like Mark D. Bright, it's like, should we make this noise? Should we really shake the cages at DC and Marvel to do this? I don't know necessarily if we took it that far, but I felt like we had to, in a sense, because it's like, if Black Comic Lawyers is going to stand for anything, it's instances like that. Because if we'd have like really just let this happen and nobody said nothing, we really don't have no skin in the game. We can't say that we got real skin in the game if we're not willing to champion. We say we champion Black curators and Black collectors, and you know, somebody. Could you imagine Paul being around some industry people, right? And they know you from your work here at Black Comic Lawyers, and then they come to you and say, "Man, why come you ain't say y'all didn't say nothing about Mark D. Bright?" And what could you say? You'd be speechless. If someone
Right.
came to me and said the same thing, I'd be speechless. Nothing that we could say. Because it's like, this is like one of the biggest artists that we've ever been, you know, as far as enjoyed the art or whatever that was alive while we were really doing this. He passes, and I'm like, okay. And like I told y'all on Sunday night, when Perez died in May, they had tribute pages in June.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. They sure did.
So y'all don't get
And
no
it
point.
wasn't in the back of the book either. It was not in the back of the book.
No, it was in the front of the book.
When Paul Neary died, it wasn't in the back of the book.
Had a whole cover tribute.
Bruh. Can we move along? Because this kind of heavy, Paul.
It is.
Look, like I said, man, I can't. As you said, Rich, sometimes you got to stand on your square, man. And this is something I stand on my square on. I ain't letting this shit go. I'm sorry. They took some L's on this with me. This was disrespectful. This is disrespectful. There's basic decency, and this is not just some fly by night artist. This guy helped build these companies. He didn't have like little guest spots here and there. He did runs. And to not recognize that's a slap in the face. That's a slap in the face. And for when you're talking about historically marginalized creators, this is a perfect example of that. It's a glaring example. It's freaking 2024. You're still doing stuff like this? Come on, man. You can do better. You got to. You got to do better. Ain't no excuses for that.
Not at all. So anyway, in other news, shout out to Stephen A. Smith getting smacked on his own show.
Isn't he supposed to be the smacker though?
Bruh, I ain't never seen somebody just hit Stephen A. with a haymaker, and he just over the screen just like. Oh man, yeah. So shout out to those of y'all who've been watching the sports. Shout out to the WNBA, who's getting a lot of press of late. You know what I'm saying?
Look, Angel Reese went online recently in an interview, and she said, "Look, I understand a lot of people have me as the bad guy. I'll take that because I'll tell you what, history is going to show 20 years from now how viewership went up. And if I got to be the bad guy to throw some more shot on the WNBA as a sport and get more people in these seats and buying more tickets, I'll take that."
Yeah.
That sister has a perspective as to what's going on, a realistic perspective. So, mad props to her.
Well, shout out to Caitlin. You know, they have made her the face of the WNBA, even though Angel Reese is right there as well. But listen, as someone who loves ball, when the WNBA first came out, right, they tried to do that with Rebecca Lobo, played for the New York Liberty, and for the most part, she was very, very talented. They won gold medals, her and Cheryl Swoops. But of course, everybody thought that was going to be the star. Well, she was going to be the star. But the star wound up being Cynthia Cooper. And Cheryl Swoops played on the same team. Because Cheryl left and went and had a baby.
Yeah.
And when she did come back, they ran off 4 titles. The first 4 WNBA titles were won in Houston. And so, everything is, I bring that up because it's like, just because it looks like something, don't necessarily, it's going to mean something. And so it's like, with the situation going on with Caitlyn, here's the truth. Girls are baller. She can ball. She gonna take her lumps. That's okay. She got more money than all of the WNBA combined. All the players combined. She got that much in endorsements. So if she gets an elbow, if Angel Reese gets put in a headlock or whatever, it's okay.
It's good television, man. It's good television.
They gonna get off. They gonna get off the court and jump into a Bugatti. I think they'll be okay. So all of y'all out there thinking something conspiratorial theories going on, listen, Angel Reese and Kayla, they ain't jumping in something fancy when they leave. They ain't jumping in a little Honda Accord. No, I promise you, it's a whole lot more than y'all think.
Yeah, Angel and Caitlyn have spoken in interviews individually, and they're like, we cool with each other. I mean, y'all the one doing this whole, we hate each other, we're battling against each other. They game recognized game. Like, they cool. But they also recognize that, even bad press is sometimes good press in terms of putting more light on the sport. And I think that's kind of what they're doing right now. I mean, there's viewership hasn't been this high in WNBA in years.
Well, the thing is, the question has become, and I'm gonna get to your comment in a minute, Night Watch. The question has become, can they keep it up? Because that's the key right there. Anybody can sell a few tickets at the beginning. The question is, are they gonna be able to keep it up? Because again, the WNBA is a subsidized league. It's been subsidized by the NBA because it's needed the NBA to keep it going. And, clearly the NBA is totally invested in this product because it's still here after 25 years, I think it is.
Yeah.
So, you're going to have, these little flashes or whatever, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, what's going to happen when the glare wears off? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not guaranteed that Caitlyn or Angel is going to be quote unquote the stars. I mean, they got a couple of years to grow, which is interesting in that, how much time will they give them, I would say, to develop? Because like out in Indiana where Caitlyn is, I think they've won like only 1 or 2 games, maybe at the max. So, it may be a while for she actually, even though she's been on most of the national games, that televised games, Indiana isn't won really a game. The FIBA hasn't really won any games. So that's not going to last long. And you can't keep putting people on national television if you ain't winning. People like to see a winner.
Yeah, that's what Angel Reese is going through right now.
Yep. Oh, well, see, she's got Cardoza in Chicago with her though. That's 2 All-Stars plus what they got out there already. So,
but you got to win.
You're right. Got to win. So, anywho, what else is going on in the world of?
Richie said you're gonna get a Night Watch's
Oh,
comment.
yeah. I love my black women, but nobody watching these games for Angel Reese. Come on, y'all. I mean, look, bro. I'm not here to be an apologist for the WNBA. All I know is there's a lot of ink right now, a lot of stuff being written. They're getting a lot of screen time, and it doesn't hurt that she's easy on the eye. Okay.
Yeah. That's what Mr. DC Comics comment is all about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think the secret for the WNBA is for them to get people to care about the woman outside of the court. That's what Angel Reese did. Yeah, I mean, you gotta get the hype. You gotta get the stories. It's the stories behind the sport that sells tickets. You know, the more drama you want to create off the court, the more people want to tune in on the television or buy tickets to go see some drama on the court. So, you know, if the WNBA is smart, what they need to do, honestly, they need a reality television show of what they do off the court.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Look, I don't need. Listen, we got too much of that. We got too much of that. You know what I'm saying?
They need a reality TV show, just like they have one with the NFL players. What is it called again?
The Hard Knocks.
The Hard Knocks. They need a Hard Knocks for the WNBA, live, uncensored, uncut.
No, that's even worse.
What are they doing behind the scenes?
No. I don't need to see all of that, bro. Some stuff just don't need to be seen. It'd be too much TMI, too much information. I do listen. I do like. Now I'm gonna be honest. I like college basketball as far as women's sports is concerned. I like that more than the WNBA. I followed the WNBA when it was in Houston. After they disbanded the franchise, whatever, I stopped following it. Why? Because there was no team in our city, so there was no reason for me to follow it. So now there's quote unquote noise in the air or whatever about it. But that noise actually started with what was going on in college with Caitlin and Angel Reese in college. So, again, hopefully, they'll produce a good product. We'll see some good basketball, but I ain't tripping either way. So, but the real show is tomorrow night. So shout out to the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. It going down. So yeah. What else is on here? Let's see. Hype Style says real divas of the WNBA. Good Lord. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. So, did you guys watch Acolyte yet?
Of course.
No.
Okay. I have not seen it. So we really can't.
Always behind. Why do you always wait until the show's done before you start watching?
I like to binge watch.
Jesus, that's so
Angel is a real nerd. Because that's the nerd. That's what nerds.
I mean, that's how I watch my anime. I watch like the whole seasons of stuff. So the TV shows, all of it, on demand, all 8 and 10 and 24 episodes. That's what
How many episodes is the Acolyte going to be? I know they just released 2.
It's got to be 8 to 10.
8. Let me see. Acolyte.
It's at least 8, I would assume. I'm glad they released 2 episodes. If they had only done the one, I'd be very upset right now.
How long was the episode?
They're like 45 minutes or so.
Okay. I'm gonna get a chance to watch it. You know what I'm saying? But it's been rough around this week. Last night,
there'll be 8 episodes.
Yeah. Okay. Last night after I finished talking with you guys, Paul and the other brothers, I had to take my mother-in-law to the airport. For whatever reason, she wanted to fly into DFW at 10:30 at night. So, so I was out at the airport, and the airport is not close to where I live. So, I was going to initially watch it, and then my wife was like, "Well, Richie, you can stay home." I'm like, "No." So I have to hear that later on. No. Nope.
Louisiana Kid says, "Was it me or was there no white men in the first?" There was white. The Jedi Master who was floating around, he was white.
The Jedi Master that was floating around. Okay.
There were some white people, but I will say this: this is definitely one of the most melanated casts you've ever seen in a Star Wars property, ever.
My question is only one. I only have one question. I understand that, and they led with that.
I know your question is, how's the story? The story was
good. Okay, all right. That's all I need to know.
The story was good. It starts with a bit of a mystery. Here's the thing. there's two elements in the show that make it a little bit different from other Star Wars things that you've seen, whether it be movies or television shows or what have you. One, there's martial arts in this. It's like real martial arts. If you're like me, who grew up with Shaw Brothers films, with wire work and that type of stuff, you'll appreciate this. If you liked Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, you're gonna like some of the scenes in this film. I've seen some of the behind the scenes footage. They trained to do the fight scenes. Amanda Stenberg said she really got into doing her own stunts and doing fight scenes. So shout out to her, because the martial arts in this film are on this television show is pretty dope. And then the other aspect of it is this is more of a mystery show. It's not just a pew pew, whiz bang thing. It's a mystery at the heart of it. They're trying to figure out who this assassin is. There's someone who's assassinating Jedi, and they're trying to figure out who it is. And it's not immediately obvious. And without giving spoilers. So it is intriguing, because you're also, if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, it's cool to see all the different references that you see, all the Easter eggs. What I would recommend is, if after you watch these 2 episodes, go on the Screen Crush YouTube site and look at their breakdown of those first 2 episodes. The amount of Easter, and there was stuff there I missed. The amount of Easter eggs they break down and find in those first 2 episodes are significant, like a lot. They put a lot of details into these 2 episodes, which as a Star Wars fan, I truly appreciated with the story.
Cool things. So,
yeah.
In speculative news, and Derek is privy to this. What did you think, Derek, about Tyrock?
That was a big sale. That was
9.8.
Look, all of us had bought out of the back issue bins or even dollar bins easily.
Superboy in the League of Legion of Superheroes 216.
I can't imagine I spent more than $3.50 for my copy of that book.
But is yours a 9.8?
No, it's not a 9. It's a regular mid-grade copy.
Yeah, let me pull this up so we can show people what we're talking about here.
It's going to be an influx of Tyrock books going to CGC.
This is a book we constantly joke about. This character we joke about. He's super powered with the worst costume of all time.
He got his dance on.
This man has bati riders on, man. This is...
Yeah, there it is.
$5,676.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Grell, artist and co-creator of Tyrock. Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
Hey man, somebody really wanted that book.
Yep.
I mean, that's near mint. That's what year is that?
1976.
Yeah. So that book is literally almost 50 years old.
Yep. You see Vagrant's comments here?
Vagrant said, last I heard, the creator was a racist, so the artist drew him to make him look silly on purpose.
All right.
Who's the creator?
I mean, Mike Grell is the artist. I can't speak for the actual writer. But I do. Mike Grell is not. Mike Grell is not a racist. So I don't know who the writer is on that. Half this, I just made a statue. It was clowning me, and now everybody want one. Oh yeah.
Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all love me.
You up to Mike Jones?
Says Mike Grell and Carrie Bates created Tyrock, 1976.
What was the name, Angel?
Mike Grell and Carrie
Mike Grell.
Bates.
Oh, okay.
Okay, follow up from Vagrant.
Did I mix them up? I'm not sure. I mean, but I do. I'm familiar with Mike Grell. Mike Grell's one of my favorite artists. But Mike Grell's not like that, to my knowledge. Mike Grell messes with us because Mike Grell has created black characters. Not the only black character he created. In the Warlord DC book, he has a black character in that book that he also created. So can't imagine he would do. I don't think that. Not him. Maybe the other guy. I can't speak for the other guy. Allegedly, we're just gonna put allegedly on that because I don't need nobody running up on black comic lawyers calling folk racist. Lord knows there's enough enough mayonnaise out here. Did y'all see the dude who ran up on stage that prevented his daughter from shaking the hand
Oh man, that was
of the
horrible.
black superintendent?
Yep, I saw that.
I got a handout. I need to hand out 2 L's. I need to hand out an L to the security at that graduation. And I gotta hand the L to the superintendent. Because trust and believe, if you run up on me, you go catch these hands. You go. Listen, we do not advocate violence, but we are comic book people, and we like watching comic book characters throw haymakers. So yeah, we gonna pretend we Black Lightning, Luke Cage, all in one. You bruh, come on, Paul. Imagine if that was you, and some random dude, just runs up on the stage and grabs you and pushes you off the stage or off camera.
Oh, we fighting.
Well, he said more than that. He said, "Ain't no end gonna touch my daughter."
Oh yeah, he the guy.
He did more than that.
He'd have been a white man, but he'd have left red. He'd have been red. He'd been red as that Spider-Man in your background. Ain't no way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And you know what was funny though? Well, not funny, but PSA. Y'all are really playing with Vegas when y'all run up on black people. Y'all know how to pick the ones that won't. How y'all do that? White people, how y'all do that? How do y'all pick the ones that won't swing on y'all?
Because they know.
Promise.
They know. Come on, man. That guy was twice. That superintendent was twice that man's size, and he running up there like he Hulk Hogan. And no, just no. Who you could play with,
bruh. The graduation would have been over. It'd have been over. Oh, bruh. I tell you.
Terrible.
And I get it. He probably was thinking about his job. He's the superintendent or whatever. He can't just,
right.
I'd have lost.
What is that? Giancarlo Esposito's character had in The Boys. What am I supposed to do? Just be some stark raving crazy man? That's the white man's luxury. I can't do that.
His superintendent was the token employee. You could tell because there was nobody else that looked like him. And that whole group of employees, teachers, and admin on that stage. He was the token. So
He'd won. I tell you what, he played a stupid game. He would have won a stupid prize.
Right.
Derek, bring up the picture I just put in our chat. Staff one.
Because
all right.
He'd have been looking like Martin in that Martin when he fought Hitman Hearst. I can't lash out.
Like some raging entitled maniac. That's white man's luxury. That's how you gotta be in some of these situations, man. Just like Chris Rock when he gets slapped by Will Smith on national television. You ain't gonna like punch back. Like you realize.
I know you gotta pick it. You gotta pick and choose your battles, but no, this dude literally put his hands on him.
Yeah, shoved him off the stage.
And so I'm gonna be honest. Let me just let me pull the curtain back. Tell you, let me just be transparent for a second. I do not like when people put their hand on my shoulder. If I don't know you, you know how you be around people, whatever. Someone, you could be talking about the weather, but if you just think you comfortable enough to kind of, I'm looking at you like, really? That what we doing? So he literally grabbed that dude by his arms. Oh, he'd have caught some elbows. I'd have been like, who is this? And yeah, like I said, it went bad. It went bad. See, my wife, she type person. We'll be places, and she know I'm about to go rich, and she'll grab me. Like, wait a minute. She's like, oh no, let's go.
Not today.
Ooh, man, I do listen. Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Chillmong in the building saying Bad Boys 4 is going to do better than Chris Rock's special.
Tragic. You know
Bad
what?
Boys 4 has gotten some good reviews. It has actually gotten some fairly good reviews from what I've seen. I don't know when I have the opportunity to watch it.
I had to watch it like you comment. He said, you better bring charges. Yeah, that's definitely got to happen. That's definitely got to happen. I understand that you can feel the way you feel or whatever, but you gotta respect people. That was very disrespectful. That was very, very disrespectful.
Well, that's the other part that the system might decide, oh, he was just playing. He didn't mean it.
That
There's
sounds
too
like
much
a
of that
loss
going on.
or intentional infliction of emotional distress.
You know.
Need representation? Call Morgan and Morgan.
And I'd have been in court talking about I'd plead insanity. He grabbed me. Mr. Wright, what happened? White man. Plus, he grabbed me. He didn't have a badge. He just tried to remove me. We're gonna have a problem.
He was just playing.
What good could come out of this? What good could come out of this? And I felt bad for his daughter. Because the daughter just kind of she was just kind of mortified that he did.
So embarrassed.
And did you see her? She took the thing and crossed it over, and she just kind of, I'm like, wow.
That was her graduation ceremony. Her dad being extra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess who's coming to next year's dinner? That's who the daughter's bringing to dinner next time.
Right.
Every
comment. Wait till she gets
I hope he's about 6'5" and his name is Bo. I hope his name is Bo and he country as hell. And when he sit, I want him. Hey, Paul. And when he sit, I want him to kind of shift all the time so he can kind of fix himself. That'll do wonders. That'll do wonders for racial relations. Anyway, what's happening in comics?
Oh God! What came out this week, Dr. Wizard?
Oh, you want me to pull it up? All right.
Yeah, I want you to pull. You're the producer.
You know my pop-up problems. My pop-up ads, right?
Ask me if I want him to do his job.
He worried about the pop-up ads, Paul. Oh God.
Actually, I downloaded it. Let's see if it works.
I'm fine. I need to walk around.
Oh man, I had not seen this. All right, okay, let me get this.
Okay, what we got?
Let's see if my pop-up stopper is working. I downloaded something over the past week.
Yay.
This
Hey,
was a light, terrible week in Black comic
What
collecting.
you talking
Tyson?
about, man? Junie
But
Bar? Are you serious?
I mean, I just meant there wasn't a volume of stuff. There were 2 independent books that I was very curious about, and I called my LCS and asked them to make sure they reserved it for me. This first one is called Beyond the Pale. You want to click on that one for me, please? So this one has to do with takes place back in the Vietnam War. It says war correspondent Hedda Sawyer is looking into the disproportionate loss of Black soldiers in the Vietnam War. Leads say losses are especially high at Firebase Tartarus, with most of them simply gone missing, their fate unknown. Something sinister is happening at Tartarus, and Hedda intends to uncover the truth. A new eldritch horror from Christopher Engard. I find that intriguing. You've got war, you've got a period piece, you've got horror, all mixed together with this centralized Black character. I'm intrigued with this one, so I'm looking forward to picking this up and reading this and talking about it.
Serious question. Will people under 18 recognize what that is in that lady's hand?
A camera.
Yeah.
That's the question. The question is, will people under 18 understand that that's not digital? You can't download the stuff the pictures the camera takes.
I mean, forget that. It's just, what is that thing in general?
People still have cameras.
Like, you think I'm
Very good question.
who has cameras? People have phones. That's all they need.
People still have cameras, man. But what people don't realize is that there's film in the camera. Then people are like, what's film?
Yeah, that's the mystery.
Yeah,
all right, let's go back to the main list, Derek.
All right.
The other
What's
one
next?
was, in addition to the Junie Bob book, which Rich will talk to you about. Go down. Scroll down. Where is it? Oh yeah, to the right there. Profane.
I saw that on the show.
Go ahead, Angel.
No, I said I saw that on the shelf. I was gonna pick it up, but I had a really big stack of books already. So
yeah, I mean, this was a crime noir thing. Kind of puts me in the mind of Devil in the Blue Dress type thing. Solving murders in Los Angeles is the daily bread of private detective Will Profane, but something is strange about his latest case. When every clue points towards a famous detective novelist at the center of this mystery, Will's world will transform into something truly unreal. Discover a new mind-bending thriller from legendary writer Peter Milligan and veteran artist Raul Fernandez about the precariously thin line between reality and fiction, perfect for fans of Bang and Newburn. Just look at the other cover, not this cover, the next one.
Yeah, there you go. And with the black people on it.
The one with the black people on it.
That's
that's the one I got. That's the one I got.
So you got this book. You got this book, Rich?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I had my LCS pull this one for me. This is I want to.
You know what? There's actually a sketch cover, black and white, of that of Virgin. That's real nice, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
Right there.
The guy in the bottom in the middle, he looks like a 70s actor. I'm trying to remember his name.
A 70s actor?
Yeah.
I have a coworker that looks like
that. I can't remember the guy's name.
Yaphet Kotto?
What was he in? Do you know what he was in?
I can't remember because I just remember seeing this guy in different movies and shows, but not knowing his name because I was
Derek,
so young.
were you even alive in the 1970s?
Yeah, I was.
Show aging Benjamin Button's backwards ass.
I knew what that camera was now.
Honestly, if you look at some of our videos from 2 years ago with Derek, he actually was older then than he is now. I don't know how he's doing that.
Benjamin Button.
Derek's really aging backwards.
I'll tell you a story. Hopefully my wife isn't still watching, but I went into a comic book. I took my daughter to a comic book shop, and they thought that my daughter and I were brother and sister.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. You got some, I don't know what creams you're using there in North Carolina with special berries and oils and fruit that you're rubbing on your skin, but it's clearly working for you.
Yeah.
There's no chemicals, juices, and berries.
Just juices and berries, man. All right, let's go back to the main list there.
All right.
What we got?
What else came out? That's
Star
Silk
Trek.
Cotton. Huh? Star
What?
Trek? No, I want to look at that Silk Cotton book. It's a trade paperback. This one I found intriguing. It's June, which is Caribbean History Month. So shout out to all my Caribbean American people. It's our month, y'all. Carnival time. Peter has always been told the stories like every child in the Caribbean, the tales of the ancients bound to the silk cotton tree, the supernatural monsters of myths and legends, whispered in hushed tones, lest the speaker be heard and meet with an untimely fate. Then the day arrived when the woman who had been his mother is struck down by something that could only have come from his worst nightmares. Now Peter's once ordered world crashes into stark reality. Grace Silk Cotton, the legendary supernatural Churly Queen and enforcer between the worlds, is his real mother. The monsters are real. Peter is one himself, and the prophetic fights for supremacy, survival, the stories, and the silk cotton has begun. 224 pages, 1999.
We'll put that out.
I'm intrigued with this one. This one, I need to try and track down. I called the LCS; they didn't have it, so I'm gonna have to go on the hunt for this book.
Who's the publisher?
Who's the publisher? It says Unique Dimensions. It's an indie one I haven't heard of before.
I haven't heard that one before either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rosarium. What's with
Right.
that Mike Tyson book?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
and
said.
I was trying. Yeah, I was looking to try to figure out what's the difference between all these covers. I mean, you got
Oh,
what's that on the?
He's
Yeah.
got different. If you look at his face, he's got different
Yeah.
versions. Like one, he has dark hair. The other one, he
he's
has no
old,
hair.
young.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's an
That's
older
for
Mike
the
Tyson.
Mike Tyson punch out. Okay, I see it.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Minor Threats is back. That was kind of not a bad series, man. Spectacular Spider-Man, Savage Dragon, Star Trek. Shout out to Morgan Hampton. He actually said he'd like to come back on the show and talk about his Star Trek work. So apparently I've got to go through some channels to make that happen. Star Wars. Speaking of Star Wars, another Lando story. They've been giving Lando Calrissian a lot of glow up this year in Star Wars. It's kind of interesting. Finally starting to give him something more to do than just be the black guy in the background. So it's kind of cool. Ultimate Black Panther, second printings. Every issue is getting a second and third printing.
That 1 in 25.
Yeah, this is the Boss Logic cover. That's supposed to be a Killmonger. So some foreshadowing. What'd you say, Angel?
I said I like the cover, the purples, the different hues of purple is really deep, and then the space, and then this little eye in the corner there. It's really, really nice collaboration of blacks and purples.
That was kind of dope. That was kind of a deep, Paint Angel. I just said it was gonna dope cover. You like broke it down.
Well, I'm well educated. Okay, there we go.
You are well educated. I'm just from just a kid from Brooklyn.
A different thing. Art, color palettes, all that stuff. I started painting again.
Oh, okay.
That's very therapeutic.
Yes. But I'm stuck. I hate that.
Black and purple go together. We call it blurple.
Blurp.
Blurple.
All right, and then here's the regular second print cover. I think we've talked about this
That
a
was
few
a previous
times, right?
cover. They just reissued it. The different.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
And your boy Jimmy
Yeah.
Ba has his book, Rich.
Which
Boy
one?
Wonder.
Which one
Yeah,
was that
yeah,
one?
yeah. Yeah, already got it. Yeah. Issue 2 came out today as well.
And we would be remiss without talking about Yaira, which makes our Black Comic Lords list with the white-haired, blonde-haired, blue-eyed superhero queen.
But why is that one on there?
Ripaverse.
Because it's the creator of the universe is Mr. Ripaverse. It's a black-owned company.
They're in July.
Although honestly, like I didn't realize he was not the writer on this.
No. He had the Soka sisters to do that.
I don't know who the Soska sisters are.
I don't either.
The creators.
They look like from these pictures look like straight out of WWE.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it just me?
No.
And the artist Deborah Carita, don't they all look like WWE people?
Yeah, they do. I'm waiting for the death match or something.
Well, you know.
I'm just saying.
Oh.
I mean, it must be doing well because it sold, well. And didn't he do like a statue or something? What is he doing?
He's doing a statue with McFarlane. Yeah, Todd McFarlane.
Okay, Todd McFarlane's optioned in. Not one for the ISOM, but this one. I think we talked about that. You got to go.
Clearly it was a marketing thing. I think I ain't mad at it.
You got to go with what sells. I ain't gonna sit there and say anything about that. You got to go with what sells.
I just was what made it in this category because I was just a little lost.
Well, hey, we all need a little vanilla.
Hey, brothers selling comics. What can I say?
Not mad.
Selling comics.
I guess Chillmonger's saying I guess they're both from Canada. They're Canadian. Hey.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that how they roll in Canada, Chillmonger? That's what they look like?
Who is the greatest black villain in DC and Marvel? I think Amanda Waller for DC.
I like
Amanda Waller's not a villain, gosh darn it.
She's an anti-hero. She's not a villain.
And she's a villain. Y'all gonna stop playing with that.
I love my
She is a patriot. She's from America.
When she have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman in chains, we're gonna see what y'all gonna say to justify that.
They need to be changed. They're reckless.
We'll see how y'all gonna justify this. How y'all gonna justify this melanated woman locking up the world's mightiest white people?
That makes her a superhero, gosh darn it.
See how y'all gonna get past that.
Amanda Waller's like, I'm just gonna let these people run amok and do whatever the hell they want. They trashing buildings, they trashing property, they're not paying for it.
Right. They had to be
on time. Y'all listen, y'all better be careful because y'all might miss with all this blood hunt stuff coming out. Y'all better be careful because this starts in July. Absolute Power starts in July. And that's DC's main event for the summer. But I'm kind of worried that they're not gonna get the same steam as the blood hunt stuff.
I got a question about Blood Hunt, the first one, right?
Okay.
Did anybody notice this memorial page for Paul Neary?
Yes, that's what I mentioned before. Is it in the back?
No.
Where is it located?
It's right in the front. So
exactly.
If you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, it's the 5th page.
And what's the date of when that was released and when Paul Neary died? He died like a month before that was released.
Yeah, not too long before this, and they made sure like his works and everything was in there. Mm-hmm. That's what I went to get up and grab because I remembered seeing this memorial page that's so lovely done, and other people didn't get anything.
It is what it is. Who's the big villain in Marvel? Let's get the DC's. Let's finish it.
Villains? They don't have to make big black villains in Marvel.
Okay.
Are you serious? You got Moses Magnum
around for a long minute.
You got Moses Magnum. You got Moses Magnum. You got Tombstone. You got
Tombstone's the biggest one in the
Apocalypse.
comics right now.
You got Apocalypse.
Yeah, well,
So we let white people draft Apocalypse now, based
in the
on.
Ultimate Universe, he has long flowing hair.
Okay.
They
Wait. You know what? I take it back. In my opinion, the biggest black villain in DC is not Amanda Waller. It's Black Manta. It's Black Manta.
yeah, but is he really a villain though? He's a
Yes.
pirate.
Paul.
Oh man, I love Black Manta. He's my
Black
favorite.
Manta killed Black Manta killed Aquaman's son in the comics.
See, there you go, bringing up old stuff, man. You're always bringing up old stuff. Like that was a long time ago. You know how many times DC has been rebooted since then? That's not even in this current continuity. Oh man, don't even remember that.
Bruh. Why you think
There's
people
no
was
references to him
tripping?
having a child in the
Why
current.
you think people was tripping on the Aquaman #2? Because in the comics he killed his son. They wouldn't let him kill that. They wouldn't let him kill that little white baby. He didn't want this nigga calling. we just y'all don't say it, but that's basically why they didn't do it. We not doing that.
That was 4 DC multiverses ago. That doesn't count.
Nah, whatever.
The present day Black Manta is more of an anti-hero.
Mr. DC says Black Manta. Okay, I can roll with that. He mostly wants revenge. Yeah, I mean that's
he doesn't like Aquaman. He got beef with Aquaman. He's like,
he's a hardcore villain.
Black Manta did nothing wrong. You know what? Y'all gonna stop. Y'all gonna
He's
stop.
He's trying to make money, man. He's trying to make money. Most people he kills are bad people. It's like he's a pirate that steals from drug dealers. I mean, is that really a crime? Really?
If somebody breaks in my house because they hungry, Paul.
Are you a drug dealer?
No. I'm just saying, but they hungry though. They hungry though. They hungry though. I'm just saying.
So
look, yeah, y'all stop playing in the murky waters.
I am not
like Killmonger. Killmonger was right type. Yeah, you listen.
I am not. Because Killmonger, first things he did was kill other black people. So no, Killmonger.
Now you're bringing up old stuff. Why are you bringing up old stuff, Paul? There's old stuff.
That's old stuff, man. Stop bringing up old stuff.
Apocalypse was from North Africa.
Yep, but I thought they considered themselves Arab.
No, first of all, no. I hate that.
You know what? We are not going to have that discussion tonight about who's black in the Middle East. In the so-called Middle East,
5,000 years ago, before the quote-unquote word that you used had even gone to that part of Africa. So no, he was original Egyptian. He's not colonized Egypt, technically speaking. If you're being historically accurate, not comic book accurate, historically accurate. If they're saying the man was from 5,000 years ago, that's not the type of person he would have been.
And that's coming from the guy that created him. That he probably ain't even 50 years old. So, but he created a 5,000-year-old black man. It don't even sound right.
Well,
you know what?
Just like Black Adam shouldn't be. I don't want to go there.
You know what? Let's see. Okay, Louisiana Kid asked a question.
I thought the season finale was good. It was a good finale for the show. I don't know why the pilot Detmer and Awolshiku were gone for I guess they said they had conflicts in their schedule. I'm like, I ain't seen either one of these women in other productions, so I don't know what conflicts they had on an ongoing show they're getting a paycheck for, and it's in this final season. But
they were minding their business. That's what happened.
They what?
They were minding their business. That's what happened.
I don't know what happened, but there was no reason for those ladies not to be in the last few episodes of the season. But at least they brought them back for the final episode. I enjoyed the kind of the ending of it, introducing that new character without doing any spoilers for anyone. So the legacy kind of continues. So that's kind of cool. My only disappointment in the finale is I was really, really hoping in the final scenes that we'd finally get to see the USS Enterprise of the 32nd century, and that didn't happen.
Oh,
They should have had the Enterprise in the final episode. That never happened. Well, they wanted to make it about Discovery. I get that, but it's still Star Trek. And Star Trek became an Enterprise. You got to give props to where it's due.
yes.
I enjoy it.
Just want to go back to a few comments from Gordon Mahon, responding to some of your comments, Paul, about the Acolyte. So
Very
melanated
melanated
cast.
Yes, across the spectrum, not just black people. They were just people of color throughout much of the series.
And also
Martial arts.
Martial arts. Good cast, good writing.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else is going on before we get out of here, man? It's time to go.
Can I talk about my mail call this week? That was
What you got? What you got? What you got?
Surprised you waited that long. I just made comment. I just gave you props earlier about Angel has all the best covers. She's the greatest collector. She always brings the heat. And you like sitting there quietly, like, yeah, I know.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to be rude and talk over you.
Is that the Black Girl Magic book?
Yes.
I just tried to order that last night. Please, yeah, show us that. I'm very interested in that book.
So you get a nice thank you card. Fair.
Shout out to, what's her name? Angelique, is it Yara? What's her last name?
Wait, what happened?
The writer of the book.
Oh, I just added her on social media too. It's Crystal Adams.
Crystal Adams, that's her name. Crystal with a K. Crystal Adams.
Yeah. And then this particular cover is by Fabrice, though. That's why I ordered it.
I ordered the cover that was done by Aletha Martinez.
Very nice touch.
Has their own thank you cards, and it's handwritten.
Oh, really? That's a nice touch.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Personal. And then the comic book is cardstock, so it's very high quality. And then the color palette matches what's in the front, so
right.
It flows with the mood of the scenes. This is like so brilliant. And then add the other covers. So
that one on the right is the Joshua Swaby cover. I almost got that instead. Ooh, I didn't see that one on the left. Is that Larry Stroman?
This is this one is the original, and it's marked as Legacy. And then you have the other.
Who did the art on that black and white one? Is that Larry Stroman? That looks, or Chris Cross? It looks like one of those two artists.
Chris Cross.
I knew it was one of them. Yeah, I could tell the art stuff.
Yeah, so this comic book is done so well. Like I absolutely love it.
Fair Square. She owns Fair Square too, the publisher, who also did Greg Berman's. They also did Noirs and New Black, the anthology series.
Yes, that is an epic book.
And they also printed Greg Berman's what do you call it?
Little Rock Files.
Little Rock Files, and Watson and Holmes. They also printed those as well. I actually, quiet as kept, sent her a message yesterday, I think it was, asking her if she wanted to be interviewed by us to talk about that. So hopefully she'll respond. But yeah, Crystal Adams. Shout out to Crystal Adams, doing good work. Look, the book looks dope, and Fair Square is doing some good publishing. So if you're an indie creator and you're looking for a publisher to make your book pop and look good, Fair Square. That's they do some good stuff.
I was very happy with it.
Are there any comics on Yusuke the Black Samurai? People act as if he was not real.
Wasn't there? I mean, other than Afro Samurai?
No, there are no books that come to mind. The only thing that comes to mind, and that's really manga, is the Afro Samurai stuff. The the hype that's
I
been
have it
going on
where
with
I
with
turn
the
behind
Suki,
me and give you my back, and then I pull out the book.
Well, no, there are comic books.
that's not a comic book. That's
No,
that's a manga.
Legend of
What?
Yasuki is actually a comic book. Sons of the Soil.
This is a
Where is
manga.
that?
There is comic books that have
On Yusuki?
yes. They're imports. They're
This
not
is black
American.
and white.
What is that?
That art style is not regular manga style. It looks just like the.
Well, the original Afro Samurai stuff is manga. It's
Yes.
they did that, but the original Afro Samurai is manga.
Yeah, this is just a comic book.
But there are
It's a graphic
comic.
novel.
I'm gonna dig them up and see if I can find them. They're imports.
Yeah. I mean, here's the deal about Yusuke. Okay, there was a black samurai named Yusuke. He was a slave. Okay, let's keep that a stack. Okay, he was a slave. He worked in the service of a. He worked in the service of a shogun.
Wasn't he on a
It is
ship
what it
and
is.
the ship went to
This is
Japan?
a context though, because in Asia at that time, being a servant and slave, it wasn't the chattel slavery that we had over
No. I know that.
Oh,
I know that. No, I'm not trying to equate that to antebellum slavery. No. But that's kind of what he was, though. I mean, as far as quote unquote slave, he wasn't. You call him indentured servant or whatever, but it was not the same as the quote unquote slave of the West. Okay, so he did exist. There are statues in Japan. There's no doubt about that. Problem is, of course, and this is black folks' problem. I have no problem with us interjecting ourselves into things when we're there, but when we're not there, we really can't. Now, again, because there was a game that came out, and this is not the one that just recently they talked about, but there was a game that came out, and somebody asked, "Well, where's Yusuke?" And it's like, well, when this game is not even remotely about this character. And that's when I don't like the diversity, equality, inclusion stuff, because it really did make a lot of sense. I understand the principle of it, but you cannot interject yourself or insert yourself in certain things. It's just like, black hobbits. I know me and Paul go back and forth with it, but I'm not buying the black hobbit thing. I'm just not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
It's
pygmies. I know there are pygmies. They're not black hobbits. Okay.
Well, hold on. So back to the whole interject. What do you mean?
Insert. When you insert, when you're in spaces, right? That if I'm writing about, say, Celtic literature or Eastern European literature, where there are no black people. Okay, I'm not talking about somebody that hopped the bus or hopped the boat and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if I'm telling a story. Let's make it personal. Let's talk about the biggest colonized story in the history of the world.
The Ten Commandments?
No, that's not. This wasn't Ten Commandments. No, Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Oh,
okay. So, white girl.
This is yep.
This is about
brainwashing.
bear, okay?
Brainwashing at its basic.
The white girl shows up, and it's not good enough that she shows up. What are you doing in the woods where the bears are? Okay, that number one. So you have inserted whiteness into bearhood. Okay, you're not even supposed to be there, but you're there. Okay, so white people go white people. So she goes in and she sees the porridge and she takes one and it's too hot, and then she takes another, it's too cold, and then she takes one, it's just right. Okay, now she gets a little sleepy, so she jumps in Papa Bear's bed. Why she in the bed why she jumping in the bear's bed? She's
And
literally inserting herself.
she took her dirty shoes and went straight up Rick James style.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She doing that. Okay. Then she falls asleep. She's so comfortable in her whiteness that she the victim. We want to blame the bears. She in their house. So I'm saying that based on that premise, we can't do that when it comes to some of this stuff.
Well,
Angel, that's all I'm saying.
I will say
The
that
three Goldilocks and the Three Bears should be banned from all storytelling for children for the foreseeable future.
Hey man, y'all need to get on that, especially in Florida. Y'all banning everything else. Y'all don't want the kids to read about Wilma Rudolph. Y'all don't want the.
So just for
That's one story I don't
historical
mind being banned.
purposes, there are some types of people that didn't exist until a few thousand years ago.
Absolutely.
So, legacy.
I'm being facetious, Angel, when I say all of that.
Well, I'm just saying, legacy says that we existed on every continent before anyone else. And that's archaeological fact for any part of the planet. We were here first. Period.
Yeah. But I mean, again, but one samurai does not make a culture, if that makes sense.
No.
So even when it comes to
message.
I had to do it for the producer because the producer's over there
Paul.
sleeping. I don't know what he's doing.
I'm trying to find that actor. I finally found it, by the way.
Oh yes.
I'll tell you, but you keep going. You keep rolling. I'll share that.
No, now see, out of watching you play too much. You got to be joking. He says, I heard they made Yusuke gay in a video game. Wow.
Oh, all right.
I heard about that.
That's yeah, okay. Moving right along.
Yes.
But either way, guys, we know that when it comes to certain things, there's nothing wrong with wanting to see your own face in certain things. But I'm of the type of person that where it has to kind of culturally make sense. And so I get what you're definitely saying. There are definitely parts of the world we have not been. I mean, where we have not been. There are Black Japanese people.
Yeah.
They have the same phenotype, but they're Black. But you don't see them.
Because they were murdered off, just like the rest of the places.
You know. But see, let me ask you about this, Angel, because I get pushback for this. People don't consider the Aborigines. People don't consider the Aborigines in Australia to be Black.
How?
I'm just like Kevin Hart. But some people are saying that they're not Black. Okay. But see that. But there are people who are quote unquote, whether they consider themselves a nationality above being Black.
Well, that was the original identifier before the Western culture. Is that you identify by the country you were from, the region you were from.
Right.
Come along in the 1400s. That was a structure for money.
So let me ask you this. So we shouldn't really be offended when someone says they dark as you, but they not Black. We should be good with that. I'm just asking. I'm looking for clarity. Because Rich don't know.
No. So me personally, I find it hilarious because we have to go by modern terminology. There's no getting away from it now. Cultures have shifted to race across the globe as opposed to identifying by country. So if you're sticking to the country to feel better about yourself because you're, generationally traumatized, that's on you. And it's funny to me that you won't face the truth.
There you go, Paul. Thank you.
You know what? It's time. It's time to go. It's time to go, y'all. It's time to go.
I'll let y'all know. I'm going to Australia next month. I'll let y'all know.
I know Black.
I don't respond to that. Be like, "What's up, brother?"
I'm gonna walk up to an Aborigine in Australia and say, "Hey, my brother, are you Black?" And I'm gonna let you know what they say.
Now, I'm laughing because I can really see an Aboriginal, and you know they got that look. They got
Yeah.
they squint their eyes. What?
I'm gonna give some Aboriginal folk over there the nod and see if they get bit back.
Oh, they'll understand.
Oh, you go just hilarious on Candace Owens, huh? You gonna say God is good?
See if they respond all the time. Oh Lord.
Oh my goodness. I tell you, man.
My ribs hurt.
Well, the real test is just being, out and about on the streets and then just start running, see if they start running with me.
That would be funny. Now that would be funny. That would be real funny. That would be real funny. So you going to Australia? You going to Australia for real?
Yeah, I'm going to Australia next month.
Okay. See if
That's
you
why
find
I'm
me.
3 weeks. Y'all be running. I'll be leaving the Black Comic Lords in your hands for 3 weeks. Lord help us. I hope it's still here when I get back.
That's funny. How do folks feel about X-Men's Bishop being retconned as mostly Aboriginal? No big deal.
It wasn't a retcon as Aboriginal.
Trying to sideways unmoor him.
I don't think so.
Here's the thing. In his lifetimes of Lucas Bishop, his parents clearly looked Aborigine. I will note, from what I've been doing research on Australia, because I'm going there, is Australia's pretty. They have a lot of people from around the world in Australia.
Right.
Yes.
Like there are African people that have moved to Australia, just like you have African people that moved to Europe or moved to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So they never said, could Lucas Bishop be black as in terms of what we Americans define black, sub-Saharan African black, and be living in Australia? Yeah, actually, that is possible. But I'm not one of those people that makes a big difference between Aborigines and black folk. I mean, it's black folk.
No, yeah, exactly.
It's black folk. Just stop with the foolishness.
I know black.
Hey, look. Everybody black until it's time to be black, though, ain't you?
That's true.
It's time to be black. You be looking around, be like, where am I going?
Is anyone watching the show Evil? It stars the brother that played Luke Cage. No, because it has to do with the devil. And I don't watch shows that have to deal with the devil.
I didn't know about it till now. I'm gonna check it out.
They which is weird though. The first couple of seasons of it was on CBS, and they moved it to Paramount, so it hadn't been on regular quote unquote TV. And so if you don't have Paramount, you can't watch it. So yeah.
Either watch says technically Bishop was supposed to be from the Philippines, but Marvel wanted a black hair. So Wills Portacio, who is the creator of Bishop, is from the Philippines. He actually wanted Bishop to be Filipino, and Marvel said, no, the X-Men have never had a black character. Let's introduce a black character. And so he was made a black character. He was supposed to be black. And so it was a retcon later on to say he was actually Aborigine. I don't know where that was it was kind of random, but he was originally asked by Marvel to be black. It is what it is, man. I mean, what are you gonna say?
The agenda is always at work. That's what I'll say.
That sounds so serious.
Wanda's next massacre. No more black people. Good God.
Yeah.
I mean, look, bro. I was reading. What was it? It was Power Man, Iron Fist. I think it was issue 50. I think it was one of the notable issues. And so they were literally like in another world. And one of them said something crazy about Luke. And so Luke responds, your mama. And that's kind of basically what he said. But it was kind of taken aback because it was like, okay, racism is everywhere, or issues of race is everywhere. It is the most horrible thing that I think man has created, other than what they do in these labs. But you know, these constructs or whatever, you know, who's black, who's not black, or whatever. You know, we all know that blackness ultimately is a state of mind. But like I said earlier, you know, a lot of times people ain't black when it's time to be black.
Right.
You know, it's them folk, and that's your struggle. So it is what it is. So I just know that salute your heroes, the real heroes, and you know, don't worry about the color pages. You know, it's, you know, we struggling over what is it? What's his name? Apocalypse. We don't know if we want to make it black. We don't want to draft him. You know, Black Comic Lords needs to go and break down and have a racial Olympics.
I would say that you guys laughed at me when I said we need to have a racial Olympic, racial draft.
Yeah, racial draft. You know what I'm saying? We can settle all of this. What is that? I think Aboriginal Tide came from when they wanted to make Gateway his grandfather. Yeah. Shout out to Gateway, one of my favorite meetings.
Chat,
You know,
let us know, yes or no. Would you like the Black Comic Lords to do a racial draft?
we don't need that smoke,
Oh
bro.
my goodness.
We gonna go viral with this.
The whole team is like,
okay.
no.
In a bad way.
There is what?
Yeah.
I can smell.
Oh no. 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 No, 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 no.
We don't really need that drama. We just
There you go, KJ. Yeah, I agree.
was viral for the wrong reasons. Oh yeah, I can see it now. Could you see Roland Martin? There's a group on YouTube.
Look at these Negroes have done.
Sure, I'll go to my iPad. Oh man, we don't.
They traded T'Challa for who?
Oh man, shout out to everybody that likes to hang out with Roland Martin. Unquote.
Yeah. So I found this actor before we stop. I wanted to.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go back to this.
Like 20 minutes trying to track down one actor.
Yeah. So this guy here, right? You see his face. Okay. Yep. Bernie Casey.
Okay.
Bernie Casey.
You see it? Can you see it?
That could be a young Bernie Casey.
Here, look. Look.
Well, a little bit.
I know who Bernie Casey is.
Yep.
Yes, Dr.
That's
Black.
who I see.
Well, you know,
Dr. Black, Mr. Hyde.
Those under 25.
Yeah, that looks like a young Bernie Casey to me. I couldn't think of his name, but I had.
It took you 20 minutes to find out who Bernie Casey was?
Yes.
You know what?
Yes. Because I always saw him, but I never knew what his name was. And I was like, what movies did I see him in? And I finally got it. Looking at, I'm gonna get you, sucker. That was. So.
You know, we always do these shows, right? But we already have the thumbnail or the title of the show. If we were just doing a podcast, that should have been the name of the episode. Who is Bernie Casey? What's a camera and who's Bernie Casey? Oh, well, look, guys, we got to get out of here, man. It is almost 3. We almost in 3 hours.
It is after midnight.
Yeah.
You're officially cutting into my sleepy time.
Yeah. You know what, y'all? Y'all have a wonderful night. We hope you were entertained for all the right reasons. Forgive us for the wrong ones.
You know what, Derek? I need you to add to the memes the meme from the movie Gladiator where Russell Crowe goes, "Oh, you entertained?"
Okay. All right.
Cool.
I will add that to
Is
the
that
list.
not why you're here? I need you to add that meme.
Yeah. It's been fun. Please like, share, subscribe, and look. we're not gonna just don't let all of this kiki and haha distract from the fact that y'all didn't give us no super chats tonight.
No
So I'm
super
gonna take
chat.
it. So I'm going to take that. You're going to take the super chat money that y'all was going to give us, and you're going to go out and you're going to buy a dope book to send to Macabre. That's what I'm going.
Yes.
So please do
Derek,
that.
Your other video is Tom Cruise yelling, "Show me the money." Next time we have one of these nights where no one's giving us any super chats, we're playing that
Yeah,
on
that's
loop.
my list too.
No, but in all seriousness, to reiterate what Rich said, this cause Black comic collectors care. Please try and donate some books to this boy. It's a worthy cause. It's an important thing, and it's an easy thing to do the right thing.
Just go to your long boxes, grab a slab or two.
Hey,
Mr. DC, appreciate you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much.
Yes,
appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. I was about to throw a whole flamethrower to this entire episode.
All I know is that we want to
these internet provider services are not cheap.
No, they're not. No, they're not. I you know what? I just think that we just ought to just start hanging out at graduations and watching white people grab black people on stage. Where were them brothers from Alabama at with that white chair? That was a white chair moment.
Oh my God!
I was going to mention that.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
You imagine at that moment if somebody picked up some chairs.
Wait, but you gotta throw the baseball cap first.
You gotta throw the cap in the air. But it's a graduation, so you're gonna throw the graduation cap in the air, and then all the black people come out with chairs.
Yeah, boy. Look, we need another moment in American history like that. Somebody make that happen. Oh, as you can tell, we are very easily amused here at Black Comic Lords. Please follow us on all our social media at blackcomiclords.com and check out our website, blackcomiclords.net. And pick up some merch or whatever. And don't forget, in August, we will be at Atlantic Comic Con. We'll be moderating a panel and we'll be shaking hands and kissing babies. And I'll be incognito. Looking for a good book.
It's gonna be fun. Stop saying that. You're not gonna be incognito.
I'm gonna have my cap real low. But what you talking about, Willis?
And the moment you open your mouth, people are like, Rich.
I don't know about all that. We don't know about all that. We just gonna go down there. We're gonna get in and out like a robbery. So please come out and hang out with us though, August 17th, 18th, in Norfolk, Virginia. So looking for some good time, good food, and we'll see you there then. With that being said, I will give a benediction. And the benediction is from the first chapter, first verse of the Book of Rich. Good night. Love you. See you when we see you.
Black Comic Lords.
Black Comic Lords. We out.